So final week of the SCFA regular season, and for everyone in the National Northern League, it comes down to one thing. Win, give yourself a shot at the playoffs, lose, and pretty much start looking ahead to 2023. Hello there, and welcome into Cougar Stadium alongside COC Sports Information Director Jesse Munoz. I'm Matt Robinson. Glad to have you along for what will be our final home football game of the 2022 regular season. And boy, Jesse, there's a lot riding on tonight's game for both these two teams.
You're absolutely right, Matt. This is going to be a fun one. You know, we finally get to this point of the season when we have a little bit of football weather, and as it were, that's when things start to wind down. Maybe not quite yet for the Cougars. Got some business to take care of tonight. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, when you look at the National Northern League, it looks a little bit like the Wild Wild West right now. The entire league currently tied for first place. Every single team, 2-2 on the SCFA National Northern League regular season. So they're all 2-2. It gives us the rare instance where every single game tonight in the National Northern League schedule on the final day of the regular season actually counts for something.
Yeah, you know, it starts right here, Matt. Like you said, everybody playing with something to play for. And, you know, whether it be in the trenches, in the backfield, in the secondary, it's time to TCB, take care of business. And that's what College of the Canyons is going to be looking for tonight. It's important to remain focused, play with energy and emotion, execute their assignments, and at the same time play composed football and see what happens.
Yeah, if you look at the scenario chart, which we're showing you right now, the red lines, drawing of a map, it's happened. It looks like it's a conspiracy board, man, trying to figure out where we need to go, what we need to do. It reminds me of a scene from Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Charlie's in the office going, this guy's getting mail from this thing and he's losing his mind. It's the same thing. The entire league needs a win coupled with a loss from two specific teams to earn the National Northern League bid to the playoffs. For Canyons, they need both Bakersfield and Ventura to lose today, and they would need to pick up a win, of course. For Long Beach, it's a different scenario. They actually need the opposite two teams to win. They need Allen Hancock and East Los Angeles to lose today with a win for the Vikings. So you need everything really to break right for you, including a win here today and a couple other teams losing.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, honestly, Matt, I think that's something more for us to worry about here, to, you know, communicate with the fans. If you're College of the Canyons, you have one goal, one matter of business, and that's to come out here, take care of your business, get this W, and see what happens elsewhere around the state. And so, like we said, you know, no score watching, no worrying about what somebody else is doing. You line up, you play football, and let the chips lay where they may.
Looking at the matchup directly tonight between Canyons and Long Beach, it seems the touchdowns may be at a premium for both sides, each team with 29 offensive touchdowns this season. That's right in the middle of the pack of the state of California. Both seem very balanced, but neither has much of a quick strike offense.
Yeah, you know, in a game like this, it's going to be a struggle. No matter what your offensive prowess might be coming into this game, with this much at stake, the struggle is going to be real. Now, College of the Canyons, we have seen flashes early on in the season. There was some quick strike offense. More recently, the opportunities have been there. The conversions have not. And so College of the Canyons has kind of been relegated to short yardage scores. They've got a couple jumbo packages and been able to punch it in. You know, don't discount the presence of Ty Morrison here, a valuable weapon. Like you said, points are at a premium. This is a kid that is near automatic, has made a lot of big field goals the last couple of weeks. Could come down to him.
For COC on the offensive side, it's kind of like an Abbott and Costello routine right now. We've been asking the same question week in and week out. Who's the quarterback? What's the running back situation? It's tough to be asking the same questions as we go into the final week of the season, but that's really where we're at.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of a perfect storm here. You know, you've got injuries, you've got availability, you've got kids that have worked hard all offseason and all season that have earned their opportunity to play. So, again, might see some new faces out there tonight. Could be a new cast of characters. I know College of the Canyons came into this season thinking that they had a deep roster, were something they were very excited about. might get a chance to see some of that here tonight, Matt.
Can kind of say the same thing on the defensive side. The same question persists. Can they get to the quarterback? That's really been a struggle for the Cougars this year. Dead last in the state of California in sacks with just 7. Line just hasn't been able to get home. They really needed to find a way to do that tonight against Long Beach.
Yeah, the fundamentals have been there. The effect on the game has been there. Just hasn't converted into sacks. Another key point for College of the Canyons, turned the ball over 6 times last week. Did not take advantage of those opportunities. So again, your defense is doing half the job. It's important for the other side of the squad to really pick that up, capitalize, get those points.
For Long Beach, recently they've made a change at quarterback. Keanu Campbell Caldwell was the starter for a number of games. He was QB1. But recently it's been Will Madonna kind of in the starting role. One thing we know for certain with Long Beach, no matter who is taking snaps for the Vikings, they'll have plenty of support. 5 different receivers have been involved this year, with Brown and Miller leading the way. And, of course, Jonathan Watson has taken over as the feature back, currently 11th in the state, both touchdowns and yards, with 9 scores and 727 yards this season. A very good back in the backfield for Long Beach.
And again, Matt, we talked about College of the Canyons is going to have to work on all 3 levels of the defensive side of the ball. Again, execute those things that they have been taught and coached to do all season long. Come away, set your team up for success, and see what happens.
These two teams did not meet in 2021. Long Beach was forced to forfeit due to COVID issues, so this will be the first meeting for these two teams since 2019. That year, the Vikings held off a late COC charge in a 32-24 win. Canyons threw 5 interceptions in that game. They'll look to change that tonight. Chance for some long-awaited revenge against Long Beach. The regular season finale up next, opening kickoff when we come back here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Clara.
Hi, I'm Diana.
Welcome to College of the Canyons.
We are so excited to share our beautiful campuses with you.
At College of the Canyons, we have distinguished ourselves as one of the leading community colleges in California through our high-quality academics, forward-thinking staff, and outstanding student support systems. We have 3 campuses that serve well over 33,000 students.
The Valencia campus is our original and largest campus and has a university feel in a park-like setting. The Canyon Country campus is our newest campus. It is located on the east side of town and is nestled in the foothills, giving it a small community feel.
And our 3rd campus is fully online, offering the opportunity to take classes whenever it's most convenient for you.
With a wide range of educational offerings, College of the Canyons offers students the option to earn certificates or associate degrees and prepare for transfer to 4-year universities. Students are able to choose from more than 200 academic programs and enjoy access to a large offering of student services, clubs, athletics, resources, and extracurricular events and activities.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Regular season finale here from Cougar Stadium, College of the Canyons and Long Beach. Getting ready to go. COC in their grays tonight. Trying to finish out the season with a win, try and get back to 500 and give themselves at least a shot at the state playoffs. Right now, the first of two things to break right is currently breaking that way for COC. Allen Hancock with a 13-7 lead over Bakersfield. The Ventura East Los Angeles game is just about to start as well. So we'll do a little scoreboard watching today as we watch this game as well. It could be all over before we even really get started for COC. Bakersfield should win that game. So, but for both these teams, it's kind of a got to do what you got to do first on the field. So the Cougars will kick things off. Long Beach will take the ball first. As Ty Morrison will boot things away for COC in their gray tops, blue bottoms today. Long Beach white tops and red bottoms. As we go to work, Morrison will kick this one deep down into the Long Beach end. It'll be taken at the 1-yard line by the Vikings as Turnell Ridgely will try and bring it out from there. He cuts across the 20 on the outside near the boundary and picked up on a big tackle along the boundary on the far side by COC. As stepping up to make the hit for the Cougars that time was Jacob Clipperly.
Well, good eyes on that one, Matt, but that's exactly what College of the Canyons needed. You know, can't let Long Beach get anything started here on that first special team snap. And like you said, Matt, there was so much at stake here. No time to score watch, no time to be looking around the league. That's for us to worry about. For College of the Canyons and these Viking squad, business is all down there on the field.
Will Madonna, the starting quarterback for Long Beach, the freshman out of Lakewood, California, went to Mayfair High School, the transfer from Waldorf University in the backfield. 5 wide to open up here for Long Beach on first down, their first drive of the game. Madonna looking to throw, flushed out of the pocket, will throw down to the near cide. Pass caught by Caldwell, and he gets a few yards, maybe 1 or 2, and it'll be second down and 9 for Long Beach as Jaquavion Caldwell with the reception. Can't get his name out of my mouth for some reason.
And then Ashton Thomas there for the takedown. So, again, College of the Canyons doing a nice job getting to the ball, covering their assignments. And here we go, second down. This is exciting, Matt.
Jonathan Watson in the backfield for the first time today for Long Beach as he's their feature back. We talked about him in the pregame show. Very strong running back this year. Over 720 yards on the season. As on second down, Madonna to throw, looking left the whole way. Now he'll step up and scramble. He's got plenty of room to run. Should have enough for a first down as he crosses the 40. We'll see if he got out of bounds at the 40 or the 41. I think they might give him the mark. It might be, I don't know, they're still deciding here, and yeah, it is going to be first down, so they'll move the chains.
Well, you're going to see here just kind of finds a little crease. The pressure was there, just coming around on the outside, and he just found a little sliver of room up the middle, made the most of it.
So first down for Long Beach. They go 1st and 10. Ball at the COC 41-yard line. Madonna will fake the handoff, throws quickly on a little slant. A couple of Cougars there to make the tackle. As pass was complete to Turnell Ridgely, and he picks up about 5 yards.
I want to say that was Tuni Aikahihifu
so.
there, right there again. So again, some of these guys already swarming around the ball, had a chance to make a couple of plays. As we settle in here tonight, two teams just feeling each other out.
I think Brian Snoke was in the area as well.
He usually is, so I wouldn't argue with you.
Him and Jeremiah Cox generally running around the field putting hats on people. As we go second down, we'll call it 6 for Long Beach. Ball spotted at the Long Beach 45-yard line. Madonna to throw again. He's thrown all day so far. Throws this one down the sidelines, and it's incomplete. Out of bounds was Ramel Brown the whole way, so it probably wouldn't have been a reception had he hit the target. So we go 3rd down and 6.
And so again, College of the Canyons, you really want to force the issue here, get off the field, and put your offense back to work.
So 3rd and 6 here for Long Beach. Just underway if you're just joining us. Final game of the regular season here at Cougar Stadium. As every game on the Northern League counts. Seeing who can make the postseason is Madonna to throw. So 6 plays, 6 throws, and this one complete enough for a first down as he has Kyle Miller deep down the field into Cougar territory, all the way up to the 41-yard line of COC, and it's a first down for Long Beach.
I kind of want to see where this route goes. He just goes across the middle, or there on the outside there, and then just kind of settles down into a pocket, waits for the ball. Vikings on the move here. College of the Canyons going to want to come up with something pretty soon.
He was able to slip Justin Horton. That's enough for the first down. So 6 throws on 6 plays, make it, or 6, we should actually say 5 throws on 6 plays, as Madonna did have a run. He'll throw this one out of bounds, incomplete. It'll bring up second down. But every time so far, Long Beach has been looking to throw the football, which is interesting when you talk about Jonathan Watson in the backfield, Jesse, like we talked about in the pregame show.
Yeah, and especially, just this type of game and this point of the season, you would not expect to just come out and air it out play after play, but apparently that's what they've chosen to do. And as long as it's working for them, they've got no reason to stop.
Look at Long Beach in their October 15th win against Ventura, 33-26 win. Watson ran 34 times for 241 yards. Has not been used yet today. Tries to slip out of the backfield. That ball batted in the air, and it's going to fall harmlessly to the turf, incomplete. But one of the big bodies in the middle got a hand on it.
Yeah, let's see who it was. Managed to get that big old hand up there. Again, close down those passing lanes, and that's when good things can happen for you. Cougars trying to swarm to the ball, just couldn't locate it quick enough, but that's a nice play.
It's Reggie Jones that got a hand on it. So 3rd and 10 here for Long Beach. Madonna going to look to the sidelines to change the play. Has Watson directly behind him as he's in the shotgun. Now Watson kind of shifts to the right a little bit. He'll throw here on 3rd and 10, looking over the middle of the field. Pass caught. Good pass to Ridgely. Slipped a man. He's up across the 25. And he's brought down right at the 25, maybe the 24-yard line. We'll see where they get it. But Madonna is slinging the ball around and finding good targets. And another first down for Long Beach.
Well, and that's the biggest part of it, finding his targets. Cougars have been there in coverage almost every single one of these plays. They're just getting just enough of an opening. They're finding a spot in the field to sit down and converting.
Long Beach goes quick this time. They'll hand off to Watson. He tried to spin back through the middle. It got 3 yards on the pickup as they were spotted at the 24-yard line. So it'll bring up second down at about 7 here. But Long Beach moving just on the outskirts of the red zone, as they've done a good job finding seams so far here early on. They look like they want to go quick again. Madonna in the backfield takes a quick snap, looking left the whole way, throws it up underneath, pass in and out of the hands of the intended target. Ramel Brown was trying to catch it, and he just didn't keep his eyes on it. Was looking a bit upfield.
Yeah, Cougars catch a break there, but again, someone right on the intended receiver, but the intended receiver still has that room to, haul in the ball, as it were.
Madonna this year, when you look at the numbers, 107 for 189, 1,063 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, but his efficiency has been pretty good at 111.5. It's been very good since week 3, 93 of 162 for 919 yards. The only problem he's had, he's thrown a few too many interceptions, 6 of them. As he's flushed out of the pocket, he'll try and run, escapes a couple of Cougar bodies, but gets hit at the boundary and gets knocked out of bounds. And it'll bring up 4th down for Long Beach here, and about half the sticks.
Yeah, I think they're bringing on their special teams unit. So, again, nice job of the Cougars. The Vikings had converted on at least 3 third downs on that drive. Nice job of the Cougars to kind of buckle down here, make them convert, which is not always an easy thing to do, and see what happens.
So Mario De La Torre to kick here. It's a deep kick. He's got enough leg on it, and it is up and good. Long Beach with their first points of the ball game. They take a 3-0 lead on I want to say it was about a 35-yarder from De La Torre, and he strikes from there. So the Vikings on the board first.
Yeah, either side's got to be, content with that result. If you're the Vikings, you moved the ball, you extended your drive, you got points on the board. If you're College of the Canyons, you buckled down when you needed to. You kept them out of the end zone. Sure, it's a 3-point deficit, but it's so early in this game. Things could have gone a lot worse there in that type of scenario, especially when you give up 3 third-down conversions. Drives typically don't end that way. So for College of the Canyons, you're all right with that. You get your offense. You're going to see who's going to be under center and who's in the backfield for you. You regroup, and you go from there.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The result maybe, you're down 3, but you look at the full result of the play, and you're going to be happy with that considering the defense was able to buckle down a little bit late. Got a little bit of help off of a drop, but did find a way, got the job done. So 3-0 lead for Long Beach, 11:01 to go here in the first quarter, as the Vikings will kick away for COC, who I believe has Calvin Littles and maybe Clipperly standing back there. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 20-yard line by the Cougars. They'll bring it up from there across the 35 all the way to the 40-yard line. Decent little return for not often used return man that time, as it was Tim Sauerland, the tight end, with the returns. The Cougars get good field position on their first drive of the ballgame.
And so now the offense goes to work with their goal, well documented, well preached all this week in practice. It's about coming out here, executing, following your assignments, and taking care of business. And this will be the first opportunity for Canyons to do just that.
Cam Fouts is going to be the quarterback through 6 passes against Southwestern in a loss to Palomar, but really hasn't played since. So the first time we're seeing him, he'll give on first down, trying to get the edge for COC. Was Coy Mortensen on the run, and he's got a decent little game.
Coy Mortensen, listed as a defensive back here on this roster, played a little running back in high school, and as opportunity arose, made that conversion back to the offensive side of the ball here for the Cougars. Had a scoring touchdown, a scoring run a few weeks back, and again, I think the College of the Canyons Cougars just wanted to see what they had in him. Anytime you have a player with that type of skill set that can go either side of the ball, it's an asset to your program.
He's lined up directly behind Cam Fouts. We talked about Fouts not having played since maybe week 3, so it's been a long off time for him. He gives it to Mortensen. He's got a big hole right through the middle of the field. Lost the football as he went down. Long Beach picked it up. Mortensen looks like he's hurt, and the medical staff going to come out to check on him. He went right down on his knee, and he looks very uncomfortable. It's unfortunate after such a good run from Mortensen. And I think the Cougars are going to get a first down out of it, but just like that, you find yourself even more shorthanded as you already kind of were coming into the game. Part of the reason why Mortensen was in there.
Yeah, and, just started to get excited. That type of a run there showed some shiftiness. Again, showed that he has had some experience running the ball. And then for this to happen, you cross your fingers, you hope he's okay, but that could be bad news for the Cougars.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want to see, but you do get two good runs and a first down for the Cougars, and now Sarah Ursum, I think Eric Petrago was out there. I didn't see who else ran out there, but medical staff for COC out to check on him. The first time, though, no Dr. Carzell.
I was just thinking the same thing. Had his last game last week. We are still well protected by the Southern California Orthopedic Institute and their tremendous staff. But Dr. Carzell hopefully watching at home, or you know what, better than that, hopefully enjoying his newfound freedom and time off. Living the dream, Doctor. But again, just want to echo how much we appreciate you and all that you've done for our program.
So Mortensen getting looked at. It'll give us a chance to step aside for a few seconds here. 3-0 Long Beach, 10:01 to go here in the first quarter. Come back in here, 1st and 10 for COC, and they go to work. Mortensen had to get helped off the field. Cougars trying to find something on a pitch play. Lots of running, not a lot of substance here. I don't see who has the ball. I think it might have been Calvin Littles with the football. I couldn't tell if it was a number 2 or number 1. It was Calvin Littles, so a lot of movement for Littles, not a lot of yards. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe to get back and get 1.
But again, that shiftiness, that elusiveness from Calvin Littles that we've been accustomed to seeing week in and week out. Like the play call, get the ball in your playmakers' hands and see what they can do. He was a move or two away from maybe slipping the defense and getting upfield. Just didn't work out that time.
So the Cougars go to work 2nd down and 9. New back in the backfield for COC. Unfortunately, I can't see the number, so I'm going to guess on it here when we get a chance. As they'll give this time. Hand off to Malachi Brooks. He's got plenty of room to run. Up across the 15, down to the 10-yard line. Huge gain for Malachi Brooks, the wide receiver out of Las Vegas. Desert Pines High School. Big gain, and the Cougars now in the red zone for the first time today.
So again, another one of those weapons. The opportunity knocks, and you find a wide receiver lining up in the backfield. makes the most of his touch. We talked about that. That's something we might see today, kind of a new cast of characters, new faces and new places, as it were. And so that's a nice boost for the Cougars.
Bunch lineup set on the near side for COC with Littles, the man at the very back of it. Fout's going to throws it to Littles. He had a couple of blockers out in front, slips one man, gets inside the 5, dodges another into the end zone. Calvin Littles, COC touchdown.
Calvin Littles, week in and week out, puts on just that same type of show. Foot in the ground, plant, makes his guy move. You're going to see it right here. And again, kind of not the best executed block on this screen pass, but Calvin Littles doesn't need it, just jukes and goes, finds his way into the end zone, representing Gainesville, Florida out there on that one, and that's a tremendous play. Put this Cougar team back on top.
So the Cougars with a 6-3 lead now after a couple of shake and bake moves from Calvin Littles, and Cam Fouts has a touchdown pass, his first of the year. A little, I think, 15-yard catch and run as Ty Morrison will try for the extra point, which is up and good. And rightfully so, Ty Morrison, 27 of 29 on the year on extra points, so he continues to stay good. And the Cougars with a 7-3 lead. So he said a 13-yard catch and run from Cam Fouts to Calvin Littles. The Cougars find a touchdown on their first drive of the ballgame.
Yeah, and I like the couple offensive wrinkles we've seen. That's not a formation we've seen in recent weeks, at least not that I have seen. You're also talking about the running back in the backfield that gets a nice boost play for you. And so College of the Canyons pulling out all the stops here tonight. Even on that last screen, like I said, not perfectly executed, but that will to get in the end zone, that will to succeed there, really paid off for Calvin Littles. And now College of the Canyons is going to have to maintain this momentum here on special teams and then on the defensive side of the ball.
Bit of a change for COC2 on that drive. You talk about 5 plays, right, to get in the end zone. 4 of them running plays.
Mm-hmm.
Usually COC wants to sling the ball around, it seems, this year. This time they decided, hey, let's let the big boys up front go to work. Let's run the football a little bit.
And I think at this point of the season, that's when that works for you. When people are beat up, when people are down, when they've got a lot at stake, hey, let's line up and see who wants it more. And that's exactly what happened there.
So Morrison will kick this one away when we come back to work. It'll be Ridgely standing right about the 5-yard line on the near side. And they will kick towards Ridgely again. Morrison will kick it out of the back of the end zone, though, and Long Beach will take over after the touchback, trailing 7-3. So you like the start on offense for COC. You'll take the start on defense for the Cougars. You find yourself with a 7-3 lead, 8:18 to go here in the first quarter. As we're basically just underway if you're just joining us right now on the Cougar Sports Network and SoCal College Sports.
And, you know, most important thing here, Matt, to maintain that, to not get ahead of yourselves. Okay, you've got a little success. Emotions are going to continue to run high. There's a lot at stake. You don't want to, again, get ahead of yourself. Let that emotion affect how you play and how this game turns out. Long way to go here. Nice start.
So 5 plays, 59 yards for COC, 8:18 to go as Madonna stays in the backfield as the quarterback for Long Beach. They come out trailing by 4. He'll move it back into the backfield. It's Watson right through the middle of the hole, just running with a head of steam through the middle of the pile, enough for a first down, a big 12-yard run for Watson, and you can see why he can be a very dangerous running back.
Yeah, I mean, the Cougars are going to have their work cut out for him, absolutely. I mean, I feel like he's just getting going, and this Viking team's going to lean on him.
Madonna wants to throw. This time throws it off to the far side. Incomplete. Was looking for Ramel Brown. Trying to go quick, Long Beach, that time, and you can see kind of that's what their strategy at this point has been. Get a first down, get back up to the line, go quick, try and catch the defense sleeping.
Yeah, and again, you get a couple of those plays stacked up with each other. Why slow down? Why slow your roll, as it were? You just come up, get it, continue to force the issue, which is what, you can force the other team into mistakes. A lot of good things can happen that way.
Madonna will take the chest-high snap. Play action, wants to throw over the middle, nearly intercepted as he led his receiver just a little bit too far, was trying to hit Kyle Miller, and it looked like it might have been Quentin Moten that got a hand on it, just couldn't come up with it.
Now, flip side of that, you don't want to get ahead of yourself. Same thing for Long Beach. You get going too much. Maybe you don't make the correct read. Maybe you see something that isn't there, and you force it like that. So, again, imperative for College of the Canyons to buckle down here on another third down. We saw the Vikings have success their first drive.
3rd and long from the 37-yard line. Madonna 3-step drop, pressure from the outside, throws over the middle, hits his target right in stride. Enough for a first down as Brown on the reception. A big gain into plus territory all the way to the plus 47. And a first down for Long Beach.
And a nice bit of marksmanship there because, again, College of the Canyons defensive backs are with them step by step to be able to rifle it in there right in that perfect zone where it's only catchable by your guy. That's a nice job. Moves the sticks again. Keeps College of the Canyons on its heels. And we have another player down here, Matt.
Yeah, another one of the Cougars down, and that's not a good sign. COC already beat up a little bit coming into this week. Part of the reason why you're seeing different bodies in different spots, we do know that Linus Lindbergh actually playing on the offensive line today because the offensive line a little bit beat up. He's usually a defensive player for COC, and so it's kind of moved some things around a little bit.
Look, 10, 11 weeks into a season, there's going to be bumps, there's going to be bruises, there's going to be injuries, there's going to be guys that played through injuries that just can't anymore. A lot of factors out there, but one thing is that these players want to be out there with something as momentous and important as this type of game. They're going to do everything they can to try and stay out on the field, and they've got a great staff down there taking care of them.
It's Jackson Stein coming off the field under his own power, so that's good to see. So far for Madonna, 51 yards. He's 5 of 11 passing. And he's targeted Ridgely and Brown for the most part, as Ridgely 21 yards on 2 receptions, Brown with 16 yards on 1 reception. Madonna to throw here on first down, onto the outside, caught by Zachariah Ruiz. He's got up to the line, and I think they're going to give him the spot, so enough for a first down. Needed to get to the Cougar 37, got to the 36. So first down for Long Beach once again as they continue to move the chains. And so far impressed with Madonna staying in the pocket, not afraid of any pressure. And again, the Cougars, we talked about it pregame, got to find a way to get to the quarterback. Madonna's had all sorts of time to work, and that's just allowed him to distribute the ball well.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they are getting that drive, the little bit of a push getting upfield. It's just never translating. The offensive line doing just enough to keep them at bay. Another
play action. He'll throw this time and incomplete. I think had the Quentin Mogan turned his head, he might have been able to pick that one off as he had the inside position. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. So for Madonna, an incomplete pass, but it's not in a dangerous spot to cause an interception.
And Moten's one of those guys that'll make you pay, Matt. I think he's got 4 on the season coming in tonight. Had a game a couple weeks ago where he had 2. Another one of those ball hawking type defensive backs that can turn on it and turn it around the other way in a moment's notice.
And that's been a really good spot for the COC defense this year. Talk about ball hawking, 9 interceptions, 23rd in the state of California. They've been pretty good on the defensive side in terms of turning over interceptions. As he's throwing this time again, Madonna and hit right as the catch is made. Jeremiah Cox in on the tackle as the pass was complete to Ryan Bowers, and again, Cox just right there.
And so again, we talked about that narrow window, being able to rifle it in that slot. That's 2 back-to-back plays where that narrow window certainly shrunk a little bit. College of the Canyons, game of inches. They are inches away from a couple big-time plays. And now here we go. The bell's ringing. Another big 3rd down.
3rd and 7 for Long Beach. They've been good on 3rd down so far today, as they've converted quite a few. The Cougars just have not been able to stop them on 3rd down. You look at the Vikings so far, 3 of 4 on 3rd down, as they'll try and run this time, nowhere to go. Trying to go right up the gut that time was Jonathan Watson, and the Cougar defensive line does the job, gets the stop.
Yeah, I think that was Asai Martinez, just really shot his gap and got parallel to the line, came down and met the ball carrier. That's a nice job to set up this 4th down and really putting Long Beach in a position that they have to think about things here.
I think they're going to go for it right now. They're kind of in that weird position where it's not quite deep enough to punt. It's not quite close enough to kick a field goal.
Well, at the very least, they're going to walk up and play some trickery, but I think you're right, Matt. They're going for it.
So it's 4th and 6. Snap with plenty of time on the play clock. Throw over the middle. Pass caught, but hit right as the catch was made was Ruiz, and on the tackle that time for COC was Samaj Williams, and the Cougars get a turnover on downs. They get the stop they need against Long Beach here in the 1st quarter.
Bend, don't break. Everyone follow their assignments, maintain where you need to be on the field, and good things will happen. We've seen it in 2 drives now where the Canyons Cougars are just positioned perfectly where they need to be. Yeah, the reception is made, but the defender's right there to drop them and put their offense back on the field. That's a nice job out there.
Samaj Williams with the big hit, the big stop. The Cougars take over on their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10. As they have Brooks in the backfield, they have a Blocker up in front, they'll give to Brooks. He cuts it back through the middle of the field, got through the pile, got to the 30-yard line, a gain of 3. That'll bring second down and about 7 for COC. So the Cougars going with a little bit of a different set here. They actually had Sauerland in the backfield helping to block.
Again, this point of the season, all hands on deck, all formations available, playbook is open, and you're doing anything you can to find a win, maybe get an edge on something that no one has seen before, no one's been able to scout before. You get a spark from some new guys, getting new opportunities. And so far, things boding well for the Cougars.
Cougars going to take a timeout here. I think they took a little bit too much time to get the right bodies on the field. They were trying to get Jamar Flippin out there, and it took him a couple of extra seconds to get out. So Ted Isenda just saying, you know what, let's just call a timeout. Let's talk about it. Let's go through things.
And again, that's the flip side of, we talked about the new characters, the new guys out there, new roles. Maybe they're not as used to being sent out here in this first package or second package of the game. So again, keeping everybody active and attentive on the sideline is going to be important as well. And like you said, Matt, no room for mistakes. There is no, hey, we'll go back and we'll watch tape and we'll clean it up. It's do or die. You don't want to waste any opportunity. So if you've got to take a timeout, bring your team to the sidelines and think about it, talk about it a little bit. It's exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah, it's a win or go home situation for sure for both these sides, but you definitely do not want to make those mistakes. We're going to look at some scoreboards right now. 3:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Allie Hancock still clinging, 13-7 lead, so it's a 6-point game up in Bakersfield. So tight one there. The other game that needs to break right now, not breaking the correct way for COC, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Here's second down and 7. A pass to Sauerland on the outside by Fouts. Sauerland runs over a man, still on his feet, kind of rode a guy across the first down marker. Got all the way up to the 39-yard line. Good run for Sauerland after the catch.
I've never seen anyone crowd surf in a football game, but that's kind of what that looked like. I feel like he was carried that extra yard. You're going to see him here go airborne. Love the effort. Official's kind of in the way there, but then just kind of glides around the shoulder pads of a couple bodies. He'll take it.
As it's been a while for Sauerland since he's really been effective. 3 catches for 40 yards coming into the game. It was really way back in week 2 that he had a big game. He only had 1 reception against Ventura a couple of weeks or last week, so has been kind of off and on used. So a good little reception, a good little gain, a first down for COC. Ball spotted at the Cougar 39-yard line. Fouts has Brooks in the backfield with him. 3 receivers split out wide to the far side of the field. Fouts will take the snap, hands off to Brooks, cuts it right back off the middle on a little counter dive. Picks up about 3 yards to the COC 42-yard line. It'll bring up second down at about 7.
And so Brooks, you can tell, not much doing there, but the burst there coming out of the field. He's excited to be out there, wants to make the most of his opportunities. And you start to build those things on each other. You get this offensive line working together. You get a couple long runs together. You get the Calvin Littles type play. You get these guys that are new and excited to be out there. Good things are going to continue to happen. Like we said, Matt, it's just a matter of limiting those miscues, following your assignments, following the playbook, taking care of business.
Brooks stays in the backfield. 2 receivers to each side for COC as Fouts will take the snap. Hands to Brooks. Tried to cut it upfield. Lost his footing. Just slipped. And he got back to the line of scrimmage, they'll say. They'll give him the 41. And I think that's generous to give him the 41. Because he tried to plant that foot and just completely lost it. And again, a guy who hasn't played running back in a few weeks. He's a wide receiver. Maybe not used to trying to make that hard cut and kind of just loses some footing. But those are the things you expect at this point.
Yeah, it's it's a skill set that translates over, but with a little bit of a different approach to it. And so, like you said, that can take some time to get used to, some time to be comfortable with, and I think that's maybe what we're seeing right now. Big third down upcoming.
Josh Smith actually into the block on the tight end spot for COC as Brooks stays in the backfield. Littles moves to the slot on the near side. Founts to throw here on 3rd and 7. Rolls out of the pocket, throws it up underneath. Pass caught. I believe it was Calvin Littles coming across, and he's got enough for a first down for COC. Boy, Calvin Littles just making guys miss, and a Cougar first down.
Making plays, making guys miss, giving his team a boost. And again, that's, I can't act surprised from it because that's what we've come to see the last couple of years. Calvin Little's an all-conference guy as a freshman. Looks like he's making his way towards that again. But more importantly, moves the chains, keeps your offense out on the field. You didn't want to turn it back right there. And so Canyons will have 4 new downs to see what they can do.
Need to hurry up here a little bit. 13 on the play clock. Now 10 on the play clock as Fouts gets up to the line of scrimmage. Sauerland in to block as a fullback for Brooks this time. They'll give to Brooks. Actually, Fouts will keep, and then Fouts just dives right to the line of scrimmage. And I think they're going to say he lost a quarter of a yard here as they spot him just behind the Long Beach 48-yard line. It'll be second down and a long 10.
You know, Matt, Fouts done a nice job on the times he's been asked to pass the ball, to drop back and pass. You know, I think they both come on third downs and a little bit closer here to the red zone with that wrinkle formation. Wouldn't mind seeing him open it up here a little bit early on first and second. I do like the run game, but if this kid's going to rhythm like this and he's finding his guys, let's open it up a little bit.
Yeah, 3 for 3, 23 yards so far. He's had some help from Calvin Littles making some plays afterwards, but you got to like it as he has been very efficient. He'll give this time to Brooks. He'll bounce it outside, trying to get the edge. There's a flag in the backfield. It's going to be a hold. And then there's probably going to be a flag on the sideline for a horse collar tackle against Long Beach. So that'll be a personal foul, I believe, against Long Beach and a hold on COC. So we'll see where the penalties go. I think they wipe at this point in time.
Watch the straight arm by Brooks here. Just boom, right in the face. And then coincidentally gets slung out of bounds, slung down out of bounds. So I think that's one of those things. A little bit of payback and paid the cost for it.
So we'll wait on the official to give us full word here, but I think they wipe out at that point in time, and we just kind of go from there. So they do not wipe out because it's a dead ball foul. So the hold goes against COC. The 15-yard personal foul goes against Long Beach. And the key part to this, it gives COC a fresh set of downs.
COC will take it any way you want to slice it or call it. And that's a nice boost for the Cougars. And again, we talked about maintaining that momentum, keeping the drive, extending the drive, keeping it going. That's the perfect opportunity to do so.
Puts you on the plus 43 as Fouts stays in the backfield. Two backs with him this time. Fakes the handoff, wants to throws it underneath, pass caught by Littles. Littles trying to move across the sticks and has a yard or two, but a different set again. And that time he had Calvin Littles lined up in the backfield. He's starting to turn into a Christian McCaffrey, line him up wherever you want and let him go type player right now.
Yeah, definitely. And again, that shiftiness a la Reggie Bush type. You know,
another good example.
You get the ball in his hands and let him do big things. And again, he is proven to have that ability.
So break number one that COC needs. Allen Hancock, a 13-7 win over Long Beach, over Bakersfield. So Long Beach, their season now is basically done because they needed that game to break their way, and it did not. So the Cougars still alive. Now you're just waiting on Ventura and East Los Angeles as it brings us to the end of the first quarter. 7-3 COC. Second quarter action. We come back here on the Cougar Sports Network. You want to know what the Cougars' secret weapon has been for the last few seasons? Let me tell you 100% it's the barbecue smell from Busy Bees Cafe. Wafting over the field every game, I'm telling you. Opponents are distracted by the great smokehouse smell. Come check it out at the next Cougar home game next year, or maybe if we have a bowl game coming up next week. Busy Bees Cafe, they're also located in Ventura. They like to come out and just smoke some barbecue for us, and we surely appreciate it. It's good stuff. It tastes very good. As we go to work here in the second quarter, Cougars on second down and 9. Fouts in the backfield once again with that same set. This time they'll give to Littles on a straight run, and he's going to get pushed out behind the original line of scrimmage, and I think they're going to mark him back at the 44-yard line, so it's a loss of 2. And they'll bring up third down and 11 for COC.
Yeah, I think Long Beach maybe had enough of the Calvin Littles show, and we're going to try and buckle down on this dude because he'll make you pay. But again, College of the Canyons, big third down again. Said it a couple times already. I think they're all going to be big here tonight. Especially as we talked about The Allen Hancock Bulldogs getting that victory, making this all the more imperative for College of the Canyons to come out and take care of business. And here we go.
2 tight ends in there for COC. Gertz lined up on the far side. Little's in the slot on the far side. Fouts to throw. 5-step drop. Looks downfield. Trying for a man. Pass caught. Josh Smith. And they say it's a first down, a completion for COC as Smith comes down with it. We haven't seen Josh Smith since really week 2.
Yeah, Josh Smith had one of those guys that emerged and had a big-time game, and then for whatever reason kind
They
of...
just changed the call. The official on the far side runs over and says incomplete.
So let's take a look at the replay. He definitely has it, tucks it in. Hand is down, elbow is down, back is down. Kind of gets jarred there. Don't have a clear angle at the ball, but I feel like if his elbow and his backside are down at the same time, that's a catch. Don't have the advantage of instant replay here on this level, and you definitely have to respect the call there, right there. But Ted Iacinda is not happy with it. There are Long Beach players jawing at the sideline, which is never a good reflection of your program, not something you want to see. And you hope that that doesn't continue. But that's a unfortunate call against the Cougars.
I think he may have lost it when the Long Beach player's knee came down on him and jarred it loose, and you have to survive the ground.
Yeah, you could make that argument, but I feel like if the elbow's down first, that's a catch. So, again, respect the call. You come back and play. That's going to be one of the breaks of the game. There are many.
Well, and we are down an official tonight, so the deep field judge had to run over and help with that one. As usually we would have an extra body somewhere to help, maybe on the inside. So the Cougars are going to punt this away on 4th and 11.
I mean, just going back, what a point of the field. I mean, that's going to become a big-time point in this game. You turn that back, now College of the Canyons forced to punt instead of getting into their red zone offense here.
Cougars take a delay of game penalty, so it'll just give Ty Morrison some more room to work. Morrison this year, punting has been pretty good. 48 punts. 1,720 yards, averages 35.8 per punt. His long of 55. He's pinned the opposition inside the 20-14 times this year. So dual threat as a special teams player in Ty Morrison. As Long Beach has one man standing right about the 15-yard line. I think it may be Ridgely, as he's been the punt returner for most of the year. It's kind of a wobbly punt, but it'll take a COC bounce. Cougars will let it roll. This is going to pin deep inside the Long Beach territory. It's going to keep rolling, and the Cougars will down it right at the 5-yard line. What a great punt from Ty Morrison.
Ty Morrison's a special team stud. I mean, that kid does it all. I've been impressed with him, especially these last 3 weeks as we get into the crunch of the season. The Cougars maybe had some struggles offensively. He has been a mainstay for them. And again, just going back to that play, head coach Ted Iacinda had to take a little walk down the sideline. I mean, he was arguing his case up until that last snap. Finally just had to walk away because what are you going to do? It's not good for your sanity. But, again, that's one I'm going to circle in my notes. Yep. That's a big part of this game.
Well, yeah, it's a huge momentum shift, too. Long Beach gets a stop. The good news is you have Ty Morrison out there to kind of clean things up and make it tough on the Vikings as they're pinned back 95 yards from pay dirt as they'll start from their own 5-yard line, 1st and 10. Madonna wants to give, and the Cougars right in the backfield to meet Watson at the 2-yard line. Huge job by the big boys up front that time.
And that's exactly what you need to do, Matt. You know, you turn the page. You don't let that roadblock stand in your way. Jackson Stein, just fire off the ball and go out there and make a play. That's a nice job.
Reggie Jones right there as well on the hit. 2 big bodies right there. And now you talk about 2nd and 13 from the 2-yard line for Long Beach. Standing in their own end zone, Madonna and Watson, as they've got 4 receivers split out to each side. As Madonna going to throw, has some pressure, scrambles to his right, still looking downfield. Now will just give up and slide at the 10-yard line. So a good gain for him all the way out to the 10. And it'll bring up 3rd down at about half the sticks for Long Beach.
Now here you go. You don't want to let them slip out, get a little bit of breathing room.
Jackson Stein, the one that makes the pressure once again.
Yep, Jackson Stein, again, he's fired up out there. I think, too, that, Matt, the other part, you have players coming over your sideline, John and Jappin. That's only going to get your guys fired up. Go out there and respond. Do it on the field, which is the right way to do it. But, again, this Cougar defense looks to be inspired right now.
On 3rd and 5, Madonna wants to throw over the middle. He was trying to find Ridgely, and Ridgely wasn't ready for it. It hit him, actually, and went down to the turf. So it's a third down incomplete pass. And the Cougars kind of get lucky because Ridgely was wide open, had nobody there, and actually it was batted down. I'm sorry. Great play by the COC defense that time.
Yep.
The line gets a hand on it again.
Yep, and they coming off the field, jumped up and jumping around and ready to go. Hey, turn the page on that unfortunate call and go back to work. That's exactly what they did. Defensive coordinator Dan Corbett has got to be happy with that result.
Flipping a little, standing about the plus 45 right now. As Long Beach will put this one away. Penalty on COC for running into the kicker. And the Vikings will get a fresh set of downs after they down this one, as that'll be enough for a Long Beach first down on the penalty.
And that's maddening, Matt, because you did everything you needed to do. You got off the field. And then, again, game of inches, you got to love the effort. You got to love coming full bore, trying to make a play. But you got to show some restraint there, because now look at all that work for naught. And the Vikings are going to retain possession here. And, you know, a Cougar defense that came out fired up for 4 big plays now has to regroup and go right back out there, pick themselves back up.
And I understand trying to run punt block there with the man deep in his own end, but it's just that.
And there was no malicious intent.
Yeah.
You know, he dives, he tries to make the play, he extends, and just kind of clips the guy. And so, you know, that's what's going to happen.
Things happen, so Long Beach gets a fresh set. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 11-yard line as Madonna to throw, looking over the middle, pass incomplete, intended, and a late flag. He was trying to get it to Kyle Miller, and there's a late flag for pass interference, and that should move Long Beach ahead. We'll see what the officials decide here.
Yeah, I mean, pretty easy call, and, you know, you may have heard me say it before, but that little things become big things. So now that's back-to-back penalties, and look where that puts the Vikings. You know, you look where that's going to put the Vikings in business here. And, again, College of the Canyons was able to flip the field and kind of exert themselves on them. You want to settle down here.
Yeah, ball now at 24. It's a fresh set of downs again for Long Beach as they'll go to work. Madonna wants to throw, gets strung out, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield. Over to make the hit and just string him out was Wilma Afu, just kind of waiting for him, and did a good job staying patient and brought him down.
Again, nice job just kind of breaking down, squaring up, and taking the ball carrier down. That's the type of play that's easy to get juked on because you're kind of in no man's land. You don't know whether to maintain your position or try and go upfield, but he played it right on that one.
So it's a loss of a yard, 2nd and 11 for Long Beach. Madonna will give this time to Watson, dives through the pile, gets a 4-yard gain as the Cougars able to bring him down. First in on contact was, guess who, Cole Bullock, another guy we call every week. Flying around the field, him, Brian Snoke, Jeremiah Cox, they seem to be in on everything.
Yeah, just guys that are, you know, great athletes, well coached, great nose for the ball. That translates into making plays.
3rd and 7 for the Vikings here. Ball spotted at their own 27-yard line. 10:57 to go here in the first half. 7-3 COC. As Will Madonna stays in the backfield, he takes the chest-high snap, wants to throw over the middle, incomplete, was trying to lead Ridgely once again, but just did not have the mark. And Madonna, who started off pretty well, now 8 for 17, just 68 yards. And the Cougar defense does its job for the second time in short order and gets a stop, and it'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and a nice job rebounding and responding. You know, those guys were sitting on the bench ready to take a break and had to come back out on the field under those types of circumstances. So, again, nice job. We talked about it early in the game. It's about maintaining your assignment and executing. College of the Canyons so far has been able to do that, and that's been the difference.
Jerron Lincoln, the punter for Long Beach, will kick this one away. Littles will take it at the 32-yard line on a fair catch. And that's where the Cougars will take over. So COC gets the ball back for the 3rd time today, and we'll see if they can go to work and try and find some of that same momentum they had in the last drive before the unfortunate call of incomplete. After the initial call was, by the way, a reception. So it kind of, you think you have a reception, all of a sudden you don't, you had to punt it away. The defense once again does its job.
Yeah, a couple swings there, you know, a couple swings that went against the Cougars, and like we talked about, for them to be able to respond, not get rattled, not lose their composure, come out there and make a play. That's been a nice job for them, something that they're going to have to do the rest of the way out here because we are long from being over.
So the Cougars will go here on first down. They'll throw it onto the outside as Fouts looking for Gertsch and has a decent little gain. We'll call it 3 yards, but Fouts stays efficient here. We talked about Cam Fouts being pretty efficient so far. 5 of 6, 35 yards. I think it's now 6 of 7, and we'll call it 37 yards as we wait for the numbers to tick up. But you got to like it so far.
Yeah, you know, what's most exciting to me is just someone capitalizing on their opportunity. It's one thing to be under center, to be the starter, have that title, but to go out there and actually execute, have your team in a position thus far to come out ahead, that's a nice job.
As Littles and Brooks in the backfield with him once again here. They'll give to Calvin Littles. Littles going to try and get the edge. Now cuts it back to the middle of the field. Picked up a yard, maybe a half a yard. Not much doing. Long Beach much better scouting Calvin Littles this time out of the backfield.
Yeah, I feel like now you see Calvin Littles back there, you got to figure the ball's going to him in some way, shape, or form. You know, it's going to be up to the Cougar offense to continue to get the ball in his hands, put him in positions to make plays, and get out in the open space. And I think it's just a matter of time before they define that combination once again.
By the way, Ted Iacenda, the head coach of COC in his 10th season. Bill Peabody, the head coach of Long Beach in his 10th season. Iacenda looking for his 65th win. Peabody trying to get to number 50. So a battle between two coaches deep in their career. This pass thrown down the sideline, nearly intercepted, and I think if not for a good play from Joshua Littleberry to swat it out, would have been a turnover on Fouts that time on an interception.
No, we've been talking about the College of the Canyons coverage being right there step for step, and now the Long Beach Vikings show that they have the ability to do the same thing. Yeah, like you said, Matt, he was kind of falling down with it, and I think Littleberry just kind of did whatever he could to make sure that that didn't transpire.
So 3 and out on COC. Didn't get much working that time. So Morrison going to be forced to punt once again. Ridgely, who's a pretty good return man, 6 returns, 131 yards, averaging 21.8. Standing back at about the 30. He's going to take a fair catch as he runs forward. I don't know if he has the football secure. And I think he does come up with it. I think he had dropped it at first, but was able to recover on top of it. The Cougars dove down like they were going to try and get a turnover.
Yeah, you know, kind of fielded it a little oddly, and anytime the ball's spinning at you that way, there's always a chance that it could slip down in between. And I think it did,
it went right
actually.
between his knees.
That ball was certainly loose, at least for a moment. And so the Cougars trying to pounce on it, nothing doing. But that's one to again to put in your memory bank. Hey, he had a little trouble last time. Let's get as close to him as we can and be ready for those. And that would be a huge swinging point in this game.
Pretty good field position for Long Beach here at their own 39-yard line to start. 1st and 10 as they get the ball right back after the 3 and out. They'll give to Watson. He tries to bounce it through the middle, and the entire defensive line right on top of him. I think Brian Snoke had first contact, and then all his big friends came over and made a hit on top of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that wasn't a good idea to run in that direction. You got to deal with Brian Snoke. That's enough of a problem. You throw a couple of those big boys up front in the mix, and you got problems.
Snoke, of course, a sophomore, one of our many international players on the roster this year out of Paderborn, Germany, has just been a pleasant surprise since he came in last year and has continued his big-time defensive ways. As we go on 2nd down, Madonna with an empty backfield will throw. Has a man underneath, pass caught along the boundary, and enough for a 1st down. I think it was Ridgely on that far side, either Ridgely or Brown. As the Cougars just a little soft on the coverage that time.
Yeah, I want to see the route if he maybe just kind of curled and came back and lost his defender. But either way, found himself with an opening, enough to move the chains. And so College of the Canyons once again now the Vikings across midfield is back into that bend, note, break mode. Maybe see if they can come up with it here, turn them over.
Long Beach on the plus 44 now. COC side of midfield as Madonna shifts Watson. Fakes, little run, play action, pass caught over the middle. Really good throw by Madonna that time. Caught in stride.
That's a great ball.
By Kyle Miller, and enough for a big Long Beach 1st down, and they put themselves right on the outside of the red zone.
That's a nice ball, like you said, right in between 2 defenders, hits his man in stride. He's got another step ahead, and he maybe breaks that. So Cougars are going to have to look for that one going forward.
Cox makes a touchdown-saving hit on that as they'll fake the handoff, pass along the outside, picked up by Long Beach. And I believe it was Brown along the outside. I'm having some trouble with the gray on white for Long Beach, but the Vikings inside the red zone now and have a first down just outside the 10-yard line. Ball spotted at the 11.
And that same type of route and that same type of field where you're running upfield and then coming back to the quarterback trying to slip your defender, it's worked twice now.
As this time they'll give to Watson, bounces it along the outside, has some room to go. Good step-up tackle that time by Quentin Moten. Maybe saves a touchdown as it gets about a 3-yard gain for a lot of distance covered. And a good tackle from Moten.
I think it did save the touchdown. And again, flexing his skill set, not just the ball hawking defensive back that we talked about, but able to come up here, go low. Just a nice job getting your shoulder right on the ball carrier, taking him down. Otherwise, I think he's headed for the corner of the end zone in that pylon.
You could see Watson was kind of confused, didn't see him coming. All of a sudden he was there. So they'll fake the handoff to Watson. Madonna rolls to his left, has room to run, cuts it back to the middle, tried to get to the end zone, got stopped on the half-yard line, but enough for a first down, so it'll be first and goal to go from the half-yard line for Long Beach here.
And the Cougars sacrificing their bodies, doing everything they can to keep the Vikings out of the end zone. Again, that's just a nice shoulder on shoulder pad and drop the ball carrier. Man, Inches now knocking on the door. He's got to get off the field here.
Cougars gotten a late guy on the field and a timeout called by, I believe, COC. Ted Iacenda was unhappy. He was calling for them to reset, let the defense get on. The Cougars do get the last substitution on changes. Generally, the defense does in that instance. So Cougars are forced to take a timeout here, and I think that's what Coach Iacenda is down talking to the officials about.
He's asking for the explanation. What are my rights here?
He had both arms out to his side, which generally is the signal for we got to wait on the play here.
And then all of a sudden, like you said, a timeout. So I don't know if Ted Iacenda just at the last minute called that because he wasn't being granted the proper pause, as it were, the substitution pause, and then just said, well, the hell with it, I got to call a timeout here. But definitely pleading his case, asking for an explanation. That's twice now.
He's still mad. He's mad about that.
He's mad about that one.
Because he's pointing at that.
Yeah, and you get a two birds now, so he's probably saying, hey, these are two potentially momentum-swinging plays here that you guys aren't making the correct call. At least that's his assumption. I'm not saying. But that's the place, the argument that he's making. That's two big plays here. You're hurting my side.
Well, anyway, we go back to work. First and goal to go from the half-yard line for Long Beach. So 3, maybe 4 downs to try and punch this in from a half-yard. As Watson shifts to the right of Madonna, they'll give to Watson. He's got enough for a touchdown. Long Beach into the end zone. Viking touchdown. Jonathan Watson, his 10th of the year. Pretty easy run for him. Pretty efficient drive for Long Beach. They march down the field to get the touchdown, and they take a 9-7 lead.
And a valiant effort by the Cougars. 2 kind of goal line stops there. Stopped them the last one on the half-inch line, I would say. And from there, it's not going to be hard for that caliber of running back to knife his way in there. But again, now imperative for College of the Canyons to respond here under 6 minutes to go in this first half. And you cannot let things get away from you.
There's extra point up and through for De La Torre. And Long Beach now with a 3-point lead once again. Second lead of the game for Long Beach. They've led by 3 and led by 3. Make it 10-7 in favor of the Vikings as they get a touchdown on a nice drive. Will Madonna leading the way. The Vikings march down the field and go. We don't have the updated on plays and drives yet. Maybe there it is. 7 plays. 61 yards, 3 minutes and 2 seconds off the play clock for Long Beach as they get the touchdown and take a 10-7 lead.
And Matt, we talked about, the first result that came in, Allen Hancock wins, maybe that, ends chances for Long Beach. I guarantee you that they do not know that yet.
They don't care if they do, yeah.
And like you said, they don't care. They came all this way. They're going to come out here and try and win a ball game, go to 6-4. Even if you're not going to the playoffs, you still have a lot to play for. Yeah. Pride, bowl games, tape, everything else that comes with it. And so this is a team that's not going to quit just because the first set of cards hasn't fallen for them.
Yeah, you still got a chance to get a bowl game. Here's a good return for COC across the 50, inside the 40. Little's trying to cut it back, looking for a blocker, all the way down to the 15-yard line of Long Beach. A huge return for Calvin Littles. Somebody stop that man. He's everywhere right now.
There he is. He's there again. I can't say enough about him. I mean, we've talked about him each and every week. That is exactly the type of play that your team needs and that you just delivered for him. And look at him in full stride there. Just barely kind of gets his angle cut off and has to slow down. But again, College of the Canyons now in fantastic position. And Calvin Littles having a tremendous game and a great second half to this season. Was the COC Student Athlete of the Week a couple weeks back, and just makes a play, makes a highlight reel play virtually every week.
Easily his longest kick return of the season. Sets the Cougars up in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 15. Trying to get along the edge that time was Brooks, and he's drugged down. A loss of a yard, and now some jawing near the line of scrimmage. Is a good tackle from Long Beach. Bring up 2nd down and 11 for COC.
Yeah, you know, Long Beach is excited. They made a nice play. Our guy wasn't. He jumped up, didn't like it.
It happens.
It happens, but again, at this point of the field, you just made a big play like that. There's no need to get up and start jawing and pushing, and, you know, that's when bad things happen. That's when penalties start flying. As you get out of rhythm, you lose your composure, bad things start happening. So, again, buckle down here. 5 minutes to go into the red zone. Got to get a score here. Take care of business.
So it'll be 2nd down and 11. Ball now spotted at the 17-yard line of Long Beach. As Fouts in the backfield, 2 receivers out to each side. Movement on the offensive line, a flag on COC, and they will back themselves up 5 more yards. You hurt yourself again.
Again, the little things become big things. You're going to those things will start to stack up and hurt you, or at least hurt your chances of execution. Now, College of the Canyons was in the red zone, had all the momentum in the world, sideline up, people bouncing around, and you come back and, a no-gain play, now a penalty. Now your 2nd and long, really got to force something here. Again, don't want another penalty, don't want a turnover here.
Call it the 16. You got to get to the 5, I believe. Or 2nd down and 16, I would say, from the 22. Got to get to the 5-yard line of Long Beach. Fouts up to the line of scrimmage, changing the play. Needs to get to work here. Just 2 to go. And the Cougars are going to be called for a delay of game penalty. The play clock said 2 on it. That play clock says 2. The play clock on the scoreboard says 0. The back official, I believe, is the one that times it. Yeah, so there's your explanation. The play clock's on the field not properly working. So another penalty on COC, and now you back yourself up even further with 4:25. So they're keeping the play clock on the field. I was going to say there were still 2 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand the outburst from the crowd and from the sideline. Have been some clock issues here the last couple of weeks, so that is something the officials are having to work through. So you got to respect that call there on the field.
They'll give this time to Brooks. Wants to catch the outside. Tries to bounce it across the 20. Got to the 16, maybe the 17. We'll see. Before he was pushed out of bounds. And it'll leave up 3rd and maybe 11 or 12. We'll see where the spot is. Nearly got back to the original line of scrimmage at the 15-yard line.
And that'll help a little bit. Again, you know, this crowd did not like that.
They were not happy.
The Cougar faithful here who are braving this I guess cold weather for Southern California, fall weather, football weather. But you guys saw a lot of bodies pop up pointing and asking for explanations there, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, we're talking about it's 57 degrees outside. I know my wife has the parka out there in the stands. You would think it's 14 degrees. As Fouts to throw here on 3rd down underneath, pass caught. And Little's trying to push the pile, maybe got to the 6 or the 11-yard line. Not going to be nearly enough, but it will put you in Ty Morrison range and a chance to try and tie the game at 10.
We talked about Ty Morrison a couple times already tonight, an important weapon for the Cougars. Finally getting an opportunity here tonight. And, you know, a good job, College of the Canyons, not letting things unravel there. You had the penalties, you had the loss, but to be able to get a point attempt is big here.
29-yarder for Morrison. His long this year is 41. It's a bad snap. I think it might have been a fake from COC, and they're not going to put points on the board, as it'll be a turnover on downs. I didn't see what happened. I looked up, and all of a sudden the Cougars were running with it.
I tend to think this wasn't a design play call. Could be wrong. Can't really see if he just maybe didn't get it down. The snap was okay.
Yeah,
If he maybe didn't get it down, remember Tooney played quarterback last season, so he does have sure hands. I don't know. I'm not a good enough angle to see the ball there. I know College of the Canyons is not afraid to make a play call like that. I just don't see it in this point of the game with Ty Morrison coming out to tie it. Could be wrong, not sure what happened. But once again, College of the Canyons is going to have to turn the page here and let their defense pick them up.
So the Cougar defense has to go back to work as Madonna will hand off to Watson on first down. He tried to get the edge, didn't get there. Good pursuit from behind that time by the Cougars as...
I think it was Cole Bullock.
Yeah, it was Cole Bullock, number 9.
Coming right down the line, making the play, as he's known to do.
Well, Bullock, 55 tackles coming into the game today. You look at the numbers, Bullock and Snoke, 55-47, so they are pretty much the clear leaders for COC in tackles, and they do it all through the middle of the field, those two big twin linebackers for the Cougars. Second down and 8 for Long Beach. Madonna to throw, had to get it off, nearly intercepted as it hit Cole Bullock right in the chest, and he immediately knew he dropped one.
Just as we got done talking about him, there he is in the mix again. I think if you asked him post-game, he'll tell you should have had that one. Nevertheless, he'll get a PBR on that one.
Pass breakup.
And line up to play another down.
He immediately had his hands on his helmet like, what just happened? I mean, the ball was barely gone, and he was like, oh, no. So we go 3rd and 8 here. Ball spotted at the 20 for Long Beach. Madonna to throw, has pressure, throws underneath, pass caught, slipped a tackle as it was Bowers, and he got enough for the first down to the 29-yard line. I think that was Cole Bullock. He might have slipped, or either it was him or Brian Snoke.
Just enough, and that slip tackle, like you said, that's all it took to get that all-important 1 yard. Cougars had him there again, time and time again. Canyons has been in the correct position. It's been there to meet the ball carrier. Just that 1 yard there. And again, under 2 minutes to go in the half, College of the Canyons going to have to make a move, make a big stop here.
Especially you missed those points on the board on the muffed field goal attempt, as this pass intended for Bowers incomplete. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Long Beach. But that makes that field goal play even more important right now, because you talk about COC, they will get the ball back after halftime, Jesse.
Mm-hmm. So
you want to keep it at a 3-point game at the very least, so you have a chance to come out in the second half with some adjustments and put some points back on the board.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that's why I tend to think that wasn't a designed fake there, just kind of something that transpired, and Canyons tried to make the best of it. But an all-important minute 45 upcoming.
So Madonna back to work here. 2nd down and 10 from the 29 to throw. Looks on the far side, has the sticks and more. First down, pass caught by Ridgerly. And just a good strike right on target, right at the 40-yard line. A good route from Ridgerly there. Gets to the sticks, stops, gets open up.
Yeah,
makes the catch.
They've done that a couple times. Their routes have been very efficient. They come back to the quarterback when they need to, and again, just creating just enough separation. Canyons has been in position almost every play, just enough to get free and bring the ball in.
So 1st and 10, another first down for Long Beach as they convert on the 2nd down that time. As Madonna to throw here on 1st and 10 from the 43. Flush from the pocket, a couple of Cougars chasing him, and he'll just pitch it out of play. Good, smart play that time from Will Madonna, the freshman out of Mayfair High School. That's something that's hard to teach. You see freshmen a lot of times, especially at this level, maybe try and force something downfield. That time he just says, nope, I don't have anything, I'm going to get rid of it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Just kind of, maybe could have tried to force the issue, thought better of it, tuck it away, live to fight it another day.
So we go 2nd down and 10. 1:30 to go here in the first half. Long Beach with a 10-7 lead. Cougars led 7-3 at one point. So Long Beach has led twice. Cougars have led once. Madonna to throw, looking over the middle. Pass caught. Good strike right to Ramel Brown into plus territory, all the way down to the Cougar 38-yard line.
I think just runs right by his guy, gets open. down the
I
sideline.
think Joshua Christopher thought he was going to have help over the top. Maybe the coverage breakdown for COC that time. As the Vikings go quick, Madonna flushed from the pocket immediately, rolling to his right, looking underneath, pass incomplete. There's a flag in the backfield as well, probably in the area of a hold. And so we'll see if this ball is going to move back a little bit and make it a little bit tougher on Long Beach with 1:12 to go.
That'll certainly help. Going back to that last pass play, I think the slot route went across the middle and just took the safety with him. Like you said, Christopher thought he had the help, and it wasn't there.
Block below the waist on Long Beach. And it actually goes against Watson for a block below the waist. It's a personal foul. It's going to march Long Beach 15 yards back. So it'll bring up first down and 25, and it'll push them all the way back into their own territory at their own 47-yard line now.
Well, College of the Canyons will be thankful for that. If you're Long Beach, you got to be kicking the dirt, just thinking, like, why would you do that? Don't want to hurt ourselves here. Every point's going to be important, especially here as this first half ticks down to a close.
So Madonna will work here on first and 25. Plenty of time. Tucks it underneath this time to Watson. Ma'afu trying to string him out. Does. Waited for some help from Tuni Aikahifu and was able to push him out of bounds after a gain of a yard or two. As they'll give him the spot back at the 47.5. So I don't even think he got a yard. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage to bring second and 25.
Like to see Tooney active out there running around, especially as a former quarterback, to make that transition, the defensive side of the ball, and have an impact. That's a nice job. An important piece for the Cougars here tonight.
And he's got a pretty good kid to learn from. His older brother, Henry, was a very good linebacker for COC last year. As the Aikahifu boys were all over the field. As Madonna wanting to throw. Now he's going to step up. He's got a lot of room to run. And he's going to go down at the 40-yard line with a give-up slide, but smartly so. He had a bunch of bodies chasing him down.
Real quick, just going back to Henry Aikahifu, one of our successful alumni, transferred out last year with the Cal Bears this season, back in town a couple weeks ago at the Coliseum. And still rooting for Henry and Tooney here tonight.
So it'll be third down and 13 for Long Beach on the plus 42-yard line, actually the plus 41. Madonna to throw, has some time, over the middle, pass.
Did he haul that in?
I think they're going to say he did. And actually, no, they say it's incomplete. The line judge on the far side initially pointed to the field judge to see if he had a view.
I feel like he got a hand out there.
He
it was
did.
awful close. And maybe, I think, just came a little bit loose when he went to the ground. Kind of had his knees tucked in there, so made it hard to see. But a nice job by the official to make the correct call.
So Ridgely almost brings it in. Wouldn't have been enough for a first down, but it would have made it close and would have made it interesting.
Helped. Yep.
And now Jerome Lincoln will punt it away. Long Beach. Not sure what the delay is right now. I think the Vikings didn't have enough players on the field. Now they've got enough. The umpire actually standing in the middle. The Cougars making a substitution here. You got to get one off the field if you're COC. Punt going to wee away for Long Beach. It's going to bounce at the COC 5 and go out at the 1-yard line. A great punt from Jerome Lincoln. And the Cougars going to have to go 99 yards for pay dirt at 13 seconds left. I would imagine they just try and run the ball, keep it out of the end zone, and take it into the half.
And a little bit of confusion on that last one. You end up having to make the biggest guy on the field, J.Q.
Poor J.Q.
over. That young man was already down on a stance, ready to fire off, and had to get up and make his way to the sideline.
I felt like some of that change was maybe COC saying maybe we can force them to take a timeout or something here, or even a delay of game and back things up, but that did not happen. The play got off.
Or anything so that you don't get the ball on the half-yard line,
Yeah.
which, like you said, I think this is just to tighten up the splits, make sure you don't give up a safety or anything. Go into the halftime locker room, make your adjustments, and come back out. And, again, continue to try and take care of business, which the COC team has done to an extent, though trailing 10-7 here.
So Fouts just going to sneak it forward. And I think the Cougars will just take this into the locker room at halftime. Trailing by 3. It'll be a 10-7 lead for Long Beach. Clock was stopped at 5, and now it's off at 0. And Ted Iacenda actually talking to the referees right now. So we'll pause for just a second here. think that's the end of
I
the
think
half.
that's a half. I think he might.
I think he's asking about the substitution late and everything.
Well, that and maybe how, if they're handling the clock on the field, maybe how that's going to be communicated to the sideline. Because there's been a couple times now where it looks like both sides are held up. I don't know. Love to be a fly on the wall in some of those.
Either way, halftime is here. 10-7 in favor of Long Beach. We'll take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Second half action when we come back.
Hi, I'm Diana.
Welcome to College of the Canyons.
We are so excited to share our beautiful campuses with you.
At College of the Canyons, we have distinguished ourselves as one of the leading community colleges in California through our high-quality academics, forward-thinking staff, and outstanding student support systems. We have 3 campuses that serve well over 33,000 students.
The Valencia campus is our original and largest campus and has a university feel in a park-like setting. The Canyon Country campus is our newest campus. It is located on the east side of town and is nestled in the foothills, giving it a small community feel.
And our 3rd campus is fully online, offering the opportunity to take classes whenever it's most convenient for you.
With a wide range of educational offerings, College of the Canyons offers students the option to earn certificates or associate degrees and prepare for transfer to 4-year universities. Students are able to choose from more than 200 academic programs and enjoy access to a large offering of student services, clubs, athletics, resources, and extracurricular events and activities.
We have a lot of exciting things to show you. So let's get started. Thank you for joining us on this virtual tour.
If you find that you have any additional questions, you can contact Outreach and School Relations either by email or phone. We'll see you on campus.
College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. Matt Robinson, Jesse Munoz with you as we get ready for third quarter action. COC will get the ball to start. Jesse, we'll do some scoreboard watching real fast. We already told you Allen Hancock beat Bakersfield 13-7. Right now, Ventura, 24-7 lead over East Los Angeles. That game is at East Los Angeles. So right now, the Ventura Pirates, the inside track, as the Cougars would need them to lose. At this point, Long Beach's season is over. Allen Hancock is still alive, depending on the outcomes of these games. If they somehow, I think theirs might have actually been Ventura and COC, or Ventura and Long Beach losses, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, and we welcome in the viewers from around the region who may be tuning in to check this one out and await a favorable result for their side. Either way, Matt, like you said, maybe playoff aspirations are over, but still a long way to go in this ball game.
Yep.
A lot to play for both sides. Bowl game opportunities upcoming. And again, you just never know how East LA, a squad with a lot of fight in them, and playing at home, you just never know how things might shake out. So we'll turn our attention back to this one, and I'm sure College of the Canyons were preached to in the halftime locker room that you take care of business here, right now. You don't look around. You don't worry about anybody else.
Vikings will kick it off to start here in the third quarter. It's going to be a short kick, little pooch kick. It's going to bounce at the 20 or the 25, picked up by Littles at the 20. Flag for a hold, probably on COC, thrown at the 35-yard line. So this will back up a little bit. Look at the numbers out of halftime. Long Beach actually had the better of it. 15 first downs. Just 6 for COC. The Vikings ran 44 plays to just 23 for COC. Doubled the Cougars on yardage gain, 220 to 101. And Long Beach very efficient on third down, 4 of 9. Cougars just 1 of 4. So it was a good first half for the Vikings, despite the fact that it's a low-scoring game. We talked about touchdowns going to be at a premium coming into this one.
Yeah, and 4 of 9 on third down. I think 3 of those came on the opening drive. So, credit to Long Beach. You saw the play differential in terms of number of plays. Credit to them extending their drives and keeping themselves in this ball game. And for College of the Canyons offensively, Cam Fouts, 7 of 9. Not a high yardage game, but the efficiency was there and has made his throws when he has needed to. Calvin Littles, we've talked enough about him. Just a nice boost on special teams as well as offense.
Littles and Brooks in the backfield with Fouts here on first down as the Cougars start their first drive of the ball game. Fouts going to keep on an option run, and he gets taken down after a yard gain. And it'll be second down and 9, and Fouts a little slow to get up for a second. Kind of got bent back. Looks like he's trying to work off something here real fast.
Yeah, that's a hard yard, Matt. The first guy got him and kind of held him up, and then his buddies came flying in. So, again, sometimes good to get a pop under your shoulders and come back out and play. I bet you that's one he would like to avoid moving forward, especially on a cold night like tonight. But this, again, we talked about this Viking defense is going to continue to come at you no matter what they may be playing for at this point in the evening.
Brooks stays in the backfield as the feature back right now for COC. Fouts will keep it on an option run, and he's going to be taken down well behind the line of scrimmage, a 4-yard loss all the way back to the 15-yard line. That one just strung out nicely by Long Beach as a group of Vikings over there to just make sure the play got extended.
Yeah, no one biting on that one. Just get horizontal down the line and wait to make the hit. That's exactly what they did. So now College of the Canyons facing a long third down. Not how you want to start the second half, especially trailing 3 points and this crowd just itching to be behind you. College of the Canyons looking to extend things here. Got their work cut out for them.
So third down, 13. Ball spotted at the COC 15. They need to get to the 28-yard line, I believe, for first down is what it looks like. As Fouts to throw, needs to step up. Lost the football. Recovered, I believe, by Long Beach at the 9-yard line.
I mean, in the absolute worst-case scenario of what could happen for the Cougars, we're going to see here. Fouts just kind of tries to step up, gets hit from behind. I think he actually wanted to take off and run there.
Never secured the football.
Yeah, and, all it takes is a hand, a punch, a pop, a rip. That's exactly what happened. It even harder to counter when that comes from behind. And so exactly what Long Beach wanted. They dialed it up, and they got the answer they were looking for. And playoffs or not, conference title or not, they have come to play this final 30 minutes of this ball game.
So 1st and 10 for Long Beach, or 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for Long Beach, best field position of the day. As Madonna has a short field to work, he'll give to Watson, cuts it to the outside. Coming up to make the tackle right near the line of scrimmage that time was Justin Horton on the stop. So it'll be 2nd down and about 8 to go, as they maybe give him a yard. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 8.
Justin Horton, another one of those guys, really came on during the second half of the season. Had a great summer and spring and summer for us. You know, they were excited about him coming into it, and he's lived up to those expectations.
Watson stays with feature back as Madonna, who threw for over 100 yards in that first half, wants to throw over the middle. Pass caught. Trying to get to the end zone was Brown, and he stopped about a half yard or a full yard short. As Madonna, another good pass over the middle, and Brown just in soft coverage again.
Cougars showing a knack for getting those stops on the half-inch yard line. Here's another one. I don't know who was there exactly.
Long Beach comes out with some extra blockers on the line of scrimmage as Watson in the backfield. The ball at about the 1-yard line, maybe the half-yard line here. I think it's actually spotted exactly on the 1.
Sounds redundant, a big play here on 3rd down. If you can maybe get a stop or force a penalty.
Instead, it's going to be just a little slash run through the middle, and actually into the end zone is DeJon Newman for the touchdown. And Long Beach, with their second score of the ball, or their second touchdown score of the ball game, have a 16-7 lead now. As just a simple run for Newman that time. You can see him just kind of slash through the middle and wait patiently and gets into the end zone.
You know, more important than the points is they've just come out and seized control of this game here. And now the Cougars are really going to be on their heels, fighting an uphill battle.
So the extra point is up, and it is through for De La Torre, and you turnover into points for Long Beach. Not the way the Cougars wanted to start the third quarter with the ball. Instead, it's a Long Beach touchdown and a 10-point lead for LBCC after the DeJon Newman touchdown, his 4th of the year.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Started to say it before that PAT. Not the scenario that Canyons would have envisioned for itself. Certainly not the one they wanted to play out. But credit to Long Beach. No quit in this team. And so, again, talked about it a few times throughout the season, a few times tonight. How does this team respond? This is a team that, you know, a strong bond in the locker room and on the practice field. It's known to pick each other up, and that is all important right now if you have a chance to continue to compete in this ball game.
So it'll be Littles and Flippin standing back at about the 10-yard line, and I don't think Long Beach will kick it to them. This time it'll be taken at the 5. It'll be caught by Flippin, kind of over his shoulder. He's going to run it right back through the middle of the field and then ran into a pile at the 30-yard line. I think they'll give him the 28 or the 29. So Vikings tried to kick it out of the back of the end zone, and if not for a good play by Flippin, like a center fielder making a catch over his shoulder running towards the wall, gets a decent return. The Cougars will start at their own 28-yard line here, 1st and 10.
Yeah, nice little burst there. Tried to find that opening, just kind of collapsed on him. But again, it's a whatever lift you're going to get, no matter where it may be. It could come on a simple play like that.
So Fouts will stay in at quarterback as they'll bring in Sauerland to block here as they give to Brooks. Runs right through the middle, has a nice hole across the 40-yard line to the
He's
50.
gone.
A burst of speed inside the 40 to the 30, trying to beat one man. Finally pushed out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. A huge run right through the middle for Malachi Brooks.
And so you take that wide receiver speed, you line it up in the backfield, and you just let him go. Nice job by the O-line, opening up a big hole there. But he does the rest, kind of just splits the defenders, and then's got 4 dudes trying to catch him. And the angle just finally kind of ran out on him. But again, one of those plays that you need, that you crave in this point of the ball game. College of the Canyons back in business, back in the red zone, and looking for more here.
Dylan Kendall was the one that chased him down, pushed him out of bounds to the 15-yard line. So 1st and goal, or 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Cougars in the red zone. As a different back in there is flipping in as the quarterback. Instead, it'll be Fouts on a direct run right through the middle of the field, cuts it back to the far side, gets taken down, but picks up about 7 or 8 yards. Nice little run for Cam Fouts that time.
And again, I think this whole offensive unit playing with a renewed sense of urgency here. Look at Fouts just kind of twists around, get those hips loose, and gets upfield. It's a nice job by him.
He wanted to make another move, try and beat 2 or 3 more guys.
He was getting loose out there. And you got to credit, not only the nice run, Matt, he took 2 hard hits not too long ago. And he's not, he hasn't slowed down a step. So love to see that out of your quarterback. Let's see if he can lead him all the way back into the end zone.
Fouts will be under center this time. 2 tight ends in for COC as Brooks stays in the backfield. They just need 2 yards. Brooks will have the 2 yards as he's down to the Long Beach 3-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal to go for COC. That was the first time I think we've seen anybody under center, really, other than the big back set that they usually go with.
Yep.
That's kind of a 2 tight end wing formation there for COC. I think that's the first time we've seen that this year.
And we talked about a couple of different wrinkles here so far, whether it be formation, different bodies, different kind of play calls, situational play calls. College of the Canyons pulling out all the stops, needs this touchdown here.
They're in that same formation as Fouts under center will take the snap, hands it off to Brooks. Brooks maybe gets to the 1-yard line, so you give him a yard or 2 on the gain. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go from inside the 2. We'll call it the 1. The Cougars trying to punch one in, answer back to the Long Beach touchdown.
You got to have this one. You see, kind of still looking for more of that jumbo package, not calling it now. But typically this is where we have seen it in these short yardage situations where you're just trying to do anything to knife your way into the end zone.
As Brooks stays in the backfield, Fouts under center once again. Long Beach showing some pressure, though. Give to Brooks, and he's met in the backfield. The Vikings had that one scouted. In on the hit was, I believe, Corey Martin and maybe Toby Opolino, as they both stopped Brooks before he even got going. And now it'll be 3rd down and goal to go from, we'll say, the 3 or the 3-yard line, I think, is where they'll spot it. So,
and that's the thing you miss in that style of formation. Sure, it's extended. Sure, kind of got the wings there out with you. What you don't have is those big bodies lead blocking up into the hole for you. And if Long Beach, like what happened in that instance, if they're able to shoot the gap and get into that backfield, you really leave the ball carrier with nowhere to go, and that's exactly what happened right there.
So 3rd and goal to go from the 3-yard line. The Cougars need a touchdown here. I know it's still early in the 3rd quarter, but you want 6. Try and get yourself back within just a field goal. As a pass from Fouts, knocked down, intended for Littleberry, defended away by Simeon Williams. And it'll bring up a 4th down and goal from the 3-yard line, and I think there's no choice but to go with Ty Morrison here.
Yeah, you got to get your 3 right here. And again, nothing automatic about this. We saw what happened. We're not sure if that was a play call or a miscue on the last field goal attempt. But again, just kind of settle down, make sure you get your execution here. Hats off to the Viking defense on that. That's a nice play at the goal line, preventing 6.
Yeah, that big 2nd down stop creates the field goal now for COC. Mortensen well within his range. 11 of 14 this year, is long 41. As this one up and straight through and deep. And the Cougars get back within a touchdown, make it 17-10. So Ty Mortensen, his 12th field goal of the year, just a chip shot for him. As the Cougars get on the board here in the 3rd quarter and have cut it back to a 1-score game. So you wanted 6, you get 3. Yeah. Not the results you wanted, but you take the points on the board.
And similar to, the situation Canyons was in the first half, if you're Long Beach, that's not what you wanted, but you'll live with that. You'll live with the 3 points. You shut them down on the goal line. They had their chances. You're still in control of this game with the ball coming back to you. Nothing to lose now. You're out there just playing football. It's going to be up to the Cougars now to claw their way back into this game and try and make something of it, salvage their season moving forward.
6-play, 69-yard drive. They needed 72, and they got 69, and that was all it was. Ends in a field goal, 3:47 off the clock for COC, and most of that 69 was off the big run from Brooks.
Yeah, that was a big play. We've seen a couple of those guys. These Canyon skill players are kind of just taking turns with the heroic type highlight plays.
So Morrison to kick this one away. It'll be taken at the 1-yard line by the Vikings, and Ridgely will try and bring it out from there. Cuts it to the boundary, knocked out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, and that'll be it. Give him the 21. Vikings will take over there, 1st and 10 with 79 yards to pay dirt for Long Beach, leading by a touchdown.
So, Matt, no doubt the Cougar defense looking for a turnover here. You know, you got those ball hawking guys we talked about. Still haven't seen them get to the quarterback yet, but – you know, again, what are they going to dial up here? What are they going to try and do to flip this game even further?
And that has been a problem for COC this year. I actually only give them 9 interceptions. They actually have 12, which is 9th best in the state. 8 fumble recoveries this year, which is 18th best. So they have created some turnovers. They just haven't seemed to get those big turnovers in big spots. As Long Beach on 1st and 10. Ball spotted at their own 21-yard line. Handoff on the inside. Nowhere to go. I want to say it's Reggie Jones. No, it's J.Q. Ladson in on the tackle. Nowhere to go for Jonathan Watson.
That's a nice start there. But back to your point, Matt, it's not even necessarily not getting them in the big spots. It's not capitalizing when you do get them. And so that those turnovers in the box score go unnoticed because no points result from them. It's kind of a missed opportunity.
2nd down for Long Beach. Madonna to throw over the middle. Has a man wide open, caught at the 40-yard line. Still on his feet, trying to bounce it to the outside. Lost the football. It's on the ground, and the Cougars are going to dive on it and recover. Coming over to get it is Cole Bullock. It was knocked out by a bunch of COC players as just trying to make something out of nothing that time for Long Beach was Kyle Miller, and he just lost the football.
And just holding my excitement to make sure that they keep it with College of the Cannons, but I don't think any doubt there. And that ball was on the ground. Tooney with the sure hands there. And then it's just a scramble. That's a fumble-rooski. And get up there and cover around it. Get your arms around it. And this is a huge play for College of the Cannons, exactly what they needed. And the Cougar offense will be back in business. Long Beach got to be reeling after that one. Not at all what they wanted to have happen.
So that's the 9th fumble recovery of the season for COC. Is Fouts to throw, and he just throws this one out of bounds. Luckily, there's receivers in the area. Got hit a little late after the throw, but no flag as we continue on, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. Had to do a good job just to get himself out of the pocket and make sure he got that one out of bounds, as there was really nothing doing for him on 1st down.
Well, and here's the thing, Matt. Already 2nd down here. If you don't get points off this turnover, it's just like what we said a moment ago. It doesn't matter. It's just a moot point in the game here.
As Cam's trying to stretch something out right now. Fouts was kind of swinging his leg around, using Malachi Brooks as kind of a helper here. So it's got Brooks and Littles in the backfield with Fouts. Cougars need to maybe hurry up a little bit here, as they'll keep it with Fouts. He's going to run right up the middle. Gets taken down from behind. Maybe a gain of 4. As it was Andre Jenkins on the tackle. So it'll bring 3rd down and a little more than half the chains. And I'm not sure Cam Fouts is getting up right now, as he looks like he is very uncomfortable on the field. He took kind of a rough hit, kind of got brought down from behind by Jenkins trying to come back and get him.
Well, he's taken at least 3 or 4 tough hits here to begin the second half.
Stretching out his right leg before the play.
You know, and not an oversized guy at 5'11", 185. A lot of heart out there, a lot of intensity thus far. I like what I've been seeing, but you continue to let him take hits like that. And this could, this is the result you may end up seeing.
And it looks like it might be just a cramp. He was already kind of stretching out a little bit. Now it looks like they're both the athletic trainers out on the field just trying to stretch him out a little bit.
Both trainers and the ball boy standing over getting a look at
either things. He's cramping or he took a shot somewhere where you don't like to take one. Well, it'll bring a change at quarterback since he has to come off the field due to the injury timeout. It'll be a question of whether it's Bryce Dixon, Chaden Perry, or Noah Staples. Haven't seen Noah Staples since Week 4 against Palomar. Perry and Dixon have been the two that have split the duty for most of the year, except for today. And it looks like it'll be Bryce Dixon to lead the Cougars out onto the field here on a big 3rd and 6, a huge spot for COC. College of the Canyons just 1 of 5 on 3rd down so far today.
You said it, Matt. This is a huge play in this game.
So they'll give to Brooks. He'll try and run it up the middle, pounds into the pile, got to the 30-yard line. He needs to get to the 26. He's not even going to be remotely close. And it's going to bring up 4th down and probably 4 or 5, depending on where the spot is. I think they give him the 30. So call it 4th down and 4. And now you've got a question if you're COC and Ted Iacenda. Still lots of time left in the ball game, 6:29. Do you want to just try and pin him back, let your defense go back to work? Or are you going to give Ty Morrison a chance here? It looks like they're going to let Ty Morrison go after.
Yeah, this is certainly in his range. And I think you're going to give him the shot. Like I said, you need those points. You're not in the best of situations with Bryce Dixon coming in on a quarterback. Not a knock on him. It's just not your starter right now.
Yep.
And so, maybe you think better of trying to convert on a long 4th down. Line up and let the kid with the long leg have a crack at it.
Well, Cougars are going to take a timeout as they took too much time. This would be a 47-yarder for Ty Morrison, which would be his longest of the year. So a big spot for Ty Morrison to show off his leg. So we'll wait on the field goal attempt for Ty Morrison. We'll check on the score. East Los Angeles has made things a little tighter, 24-14. If you're kind of keeping an eye on both those games, 11:25 to go.
Yeah, we knew that's a long way to go. Yep. And the Husky faithful.
I should say 11:25 to go in the 3rd.
Husky faithful, are there and excited. East LA in a position that they have not found themselves in quite a while. Looking back just historically, not a knock on any of the other teams, but it has traditionally been a Canyons Ventura. Yeah. There's been a tri-championship in there where Long Beach came up, hit Canyons in the mouth and took a piece of that championship a few years ago. Again, not to say that all these teams don't or haven't had chances in recent years. Historically, it's been Canyons and Ventura that it's boiled down to. So
4th and 4, and the Cougars look like they bring the offense back out on the field to try and go for it here. As Fouts back out there, wants to throw, has a man, caught by Calvin Littles, enough for a 1st down to the 20-yard line. A huge 4th down pickup for COC out of the timeout, and they move the chains.
I love that play call, and I love the player that you go to. You put the ball in your best player's hands, let him convert, move the chains. Calvin Littles has answered the call time and time again, and a tremendous job by Dixon, just coming in off the bench, and probably the biggest moment of the game thus far.
That was actually Cam Fouts back in after the timeout.
But again, a nice job for him then rattling or shaking off the injury to come back into the game.
So 1st and 10, Cougars in the red zone at the 20-yard line. Fouts will keep this time. Actually, it is Dixon. I'm sorry. Right up the middle. Dixon still on his feet down to the 10-yard line. So I credit you, Dixon, with a huge throw in his first throw and then a big run, enough for a 1st down. The Cougars have 1st and goal to go from the 10.
Yeah, Dixon, like I said, was just, again, responding, making the most of his opportunities, as we've seen from a lot of these young men tonight, and has the Cougars knocking on the door once again. And so, ultra important that you end this drive with something. Of course, looking for 6. But you don't want to have another miscue set you back here.
1st and goal to go for COC from the 10-yard line. Dixon in the backfield, sends Littles in motion to the left. Will keep this time, runs right up the middle on a straight option run, and picks up a hard 3, maybe 4 yards. I think they're going to spot him at the 7. So a 3-yard gain, 2nd down and goal from the 7.
Again, this Viking defense has been there to meet the ball carrier, the Cougar ball carrier each and every time. Laying some hits. And again, no quit in either side, Matt. This is a fun game to watch. Regardless of what you're playing for, these are two teams that want to come out here and get a Week 10 victory.
As it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line for COC. The Cougars taking their time getting up to the line of scrimmage here. Brooks is the feature back. He has been pretty much all game after Kai Mortensen went down on the 2nd play of the ball game. They'll give to Brooks. He wants to get the edge. Now he's going to throw towards the back of the end zone, but he threw it about 5 yards out of bounds. And it's not funny, but it is, because the receiver was about 5 yards out of bounds too. Yeah. Everybody kind of lost their sight of the field.
If you had to ask me, I'd say that is a new play
yeah.
with a couple of new players. that maybe weren't, hadn't run that many times.
Yeah.
Just the timing and the
I think it was
spacing on the
Tristan
field.
Scott, the tight end, that time. He just kind of lost sight of
was
where
a
the back of the
little
end
off.
zone was.
More importantly, though, no harm comes of that play. So you line up here on another big third down.
So 3rd and goal from the 7 here for COC. You want to put 6. If you can get 3, you'll take it, but you really want to try and tie this game up right now as we're at 3:48 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dixon will keep this time. Good job to hold by Dixon. Gets to the end zone. Bryce Dixon, touchdown, COC. And the Cougars are an extra point away from tying the game at 17.
Just a nose for the end zone. Falls as blockers, finds the hole, and gets it up in there. Finds Pater. Nice opening there. And Dixon just tucks it and runs. That's a nice job by the Cougars, fighting their way into the end zone and not missing out on that opportunity to tie the ball game here.
3rd rushing touchdown of the season for Bryce Dixon comes on an option play for COC, and Ty Morrison, who's already 1 for 1 on extra points today, will try and tie this game up. Extra point is up and good. Give him 28 of 30 on the year, and we are all tied at 17 with 3:43 to go. A good drive for COC as Bryce Dixon comes out on 4th down, throws a big pass to Calvin Littles, and that keeps the drive alive. The Cougars end up going in and scoring.
Credit to Dixon, not just the conversion there and the execution, but the mindset to keep yourself ready and in tune to this game. Might take 35, 40 minutes before your number's called. When it is, he's right there to answer, lead this Cougar team back into the end zone.
And more importantly, something we talked about and touched on, the Cougars have gotten turnovers this year and not gotten points. This time they get 7 off the fumble from Long Beach. It's an 8-play, 36-yard drive, 3:22 off the clock. You tie the game at 17, and you give your defense a nice long break. They get a chance to go back out to work after.
And, second that, Matt, not just the fact that you did score, but the way that you scored, having to bring your backup onto the field, having all those things kind of seemingly go against you. Buckle down, refocus, execute.
Vikings with a couple players standing back at the 5-yard line. Ridgerly is 1. It looks like it may be Miller or Collins as the other. I can't tell. As this one towards Ridgerly, taken right at the goal line. He'll bring it out from there, cuts it to the near side, and then goes back to the middle of the field, still on his feet, spins away from a couple of tackles, and brought down from behind right about the 40-yard line. Big saving tackle that time for COC out of Cairo Rhodes, who's able to come from behind and drag him down.
Yeah, he definitely slipped a couple. It was a nice job of the Cougars pursuit-wise and kind of getting down there, but a poor job wrapping up and bringing down the ball carrier. So again, now let's see how the defense responds. Got the points behind them. This game is tied. Long, long way to go. But it's anyone's game here, Matt.
So 1st and 10 for Long Beach is Madonna to throw. Instead, he'll step up and run and slides down at they give him the 42.5, the 43, and that'll be it. We've seen Madonna a few times, not afraid to step up in the pocket and run, and very smart with how he slides, too. Not a guy that wants to take hits, on the contrast to what COC is like, whether it be Calvin Littles, or whether it be Cam Fouts, Bryce Dixon, or Chaden Perry, all 3 of those guys willing to take contact. So it's kind of a different thing, but it's smart from Madonna as he doesn't want to take those extra hits. So he goes here on 2nd down, play action, wants to throw. Instead, he's going to be brought down. They'll give him a run of a loss of a yard. In to try and stop him was Esai Martinez. And I'll bring up 3rd down and long for Long Beach.
Again, that's another one of those plays where the pressure has been there. The defensive lineman, the pass rush is altering the play.
It doesn't go down as a sack.
Just doesn't go down as a sack. So, again, don't let the box scores fool you. The impact from this front 4, it has been there.
So we go on 3rd and 7. Ball spotted at the Long Beach 42-yard line. Madonna going to look to the sideline and change the play. He has Watson in the backfield with him. 3 receivers onto the near side for the Vikings. Madonna to throw, a little 3-step drop, has some pressure.
There it is.
And there's the sack that we've been asking for. The Cougars bring him down in the backfield. It's going to be Esai Martinez on the sack. And he lost his helmet, so he'll have to come off the field. But a good play by COC.
And back-to-back impact plays from number 93 there. finally gets home to the quarterback. Couldn't come at a better time with those bells blaring before the snap. And this Cougar defensive front was able to fire off and make a big-time play. Here to go in this final 2 minutes of the third quarter.
Punt is away. It's an end-over-end punt. Fair catch called for, dropped by COC. Ball still loose on the ground, and the Vikings are going to pick it up, and they're going to get it inside the 10-yard line, as it was just a muffed punt that time by Jamar Flippin trying to make the play. And the Vikings get the ball right back after the Cougars got a good stop, and the mistakes compound here. Long Beach with great field position, a chance to retake the lead.
A game of swings, a game of emotions, and that was just one of those unfortunate miscues that Long Beach did a tremendous job of scooping up and taking the ball back for their side. Now up to College of the Canyons. Again, you make a mistake like that, a miscue goes against you. It's imperative that you refocus. Don't let things unravel, get out of hand.
So the Vikings inside the 15 now in the red zone. Madonna to throw, looking over the middle, wide open receiver in the end zone, caught. Touchdown Long Beach. Pretty simple play. A turnover by COC, a touchdown by Long Beach. I think it was Miller in the end zone. We'll try and take another look. Again, the silver on white making it tough on me, but Long Beach into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, and he kind of just finds himself alone there. Kind of just sits down and waits for it. Don't know what happened there, how he got lost. But again, the Vikings not quitting, not an ounce of quit in this team, and coming back and able to capitalize on that.
Flag on the extra point. There was a muff punt on COC, a touchdown for Long Beach, a flag, and we'll see if I want to say the penalty is going to go against COC for lining up in the neutral zone right here. And so Long Beach can take it, decline it. Yep. So it's offside. The extra point is good. Long Beach now with a 7-point lead. They get a touchdown off the turnover on the muffed punt from Flippin. And after COC got a touchdown off of a turnover from Long Beach, the Vikings get the same. And it's once again a 7-point lead for Long Beach, as the Cougars now offense needs to come back out and go back to work.
I'll tell you what, Matt, I don't care what team you're a fan of. This is a type of football game that you like to see. Both teams coming out, playing hard, playing clean, a lot of back and forth, a lot of emotion out there. I mean, you can just see the way that they're fighting for it. The ball's on the turf. They're rolling, they're crawling, they're bear crawling towards it. Coaches are into it. Sidelines are into it. This has been a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to call. And I hope our viewers around the nation and the globe are appreciative of that, because these are two teams that have come to play here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Pretty good football game, pretty good way to end the season, as it's a pooch kick from Long Beach, taken at the 30-yard line. No return for COC. And at this point, you'll just take it as you didn't drop the football that time. So it was Sauerland. Again, that's his second return of the ball game for Tim Sauerland. And COC will get the ball at the 30-yard line, trailing by 7. Trying to go back to work. It was a one-play, 15-yard drive for Long Beach. Really no time off the clock on the touchdown for the Vikings, as they got the turnover on the muffed punt from COC.
And Canyon sticking with Dixon here under center. You got to feel like it's a let's take our breath, let's compose ourselves, let's go back out there and do what we know we're capable of. And it all starts right here on first down.
Brooks and Littles in the backfield. Dixon going to pitch to Littles on the near side. He's got a nice little hole across the 35. Got drugged down from behind. That's a really good tackle by Long Beach that time, as it was, I want to say it was number 11 for the Vikings, which is Charles O'Neill on the tackle.
Yeah, and, Littles, once again, just a step away from breaking something here and giving his team, about the third or fourth boost to the game from him. I mean, this is a kid that's playing with a lot of heart out there and continues to lead this Cougar offense, trying to get something going here again as the third quarter comes to a close.
Yeah, he's doing it on the ground today as well as through the airs. He'll get the give this time, makes a shake and bake move, has a big gain across midfield to the 40-yard line, inside the 30, and brought down from behind, but another huge run for Calvin Littles. Little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, makes a couple of guys miss, and the Cougars in business.
Calvin Littles, you know, most impressive, not just the big chunk play. Watch right here at the end. He's got Viking defenders coming up behind him. That's a ball that can easily be popped out. Just kind of, I don't know, had the presence to tuck it, or maybe the defender didn't get a swipe on it. But that's more important than any of those yards that you just churned out right there, is to maintain control of that ball. Calvin Littles, can't say enough right now.
Cougars are going to take the ball at the 30-yard line into the fourth quarter, trailing by 7. We look at some of the numbers for Calvin Littles. 6 receptions, 43 yards. This year, he's had 3 receptions or more in every game this season. 4 games with 50 or more yards receiving. He's close to that again today. All-purpose yards, I think he's over 150 right now. When you look, he's got a run of 35, so 4 carries, 40 yards, 6 receptions, 43 yards. That's 83 right there, plus that huge return on special teams of 77 yards. So pretty close, right about 150, right about the number.
Mr. Consistent, Mr. Dependable, and I think what's most impressive to me is that his big games have come against big-time opponents, have come in the conference schedule, have come when College of the Canyons, tonight especially, when College of the Canyons needs it the most. You heard it, Matt. Big-time players make big-time plays in big games. Yeah, it's cliche, but that's exactly what Calvin Littles is doing here tonight. It's a lot of fun to watch. I hope he's got some friends and family out there watching as well.
Yeah, he's been the most consistent receiver for COC this year. 41 receptions, 408 yards, 2 touchdowns. And we've talked about the touchdowns have been at a premium this year, so the touchdown numbers maybe not there. But the reception numbers, the yards per game numbers at 45.3, always up high up there, averaging about 10 yards per reception this year. As the Cougars will go back to work, 1st and 10 on the 29-yard line, just outside the red zone. Bryce Dixon in there as quarterback, 52 of 86 before the game today, 633 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, as he'll roll and throw, and that one jumped on the route, picked off by Thaddeus Dixon, and Long Beach gets another turnover on a throw from Fouts, and then a late flag after the play, right in the middle of all the Cougars. So I believe it's a dead ball foul against Long Beach. So it's going to push them back half the distance to the goal. But Dixon kind of looked at his receiver the whole way, was trying to find his target. And Thaddeus Dixon jumps the route for his 4th interception of the season. And the Cougars, again, turn the ball over.
Well, I didn't see where the penalty was. It looked like it might have been midfield. I definitely saw some jawing and pointing towards the Cougars sideline after that defensive play. So maybe they got that. But again, it's one of those things you just can't, with the momentum going and the Calvin Littles plays, and you just can't afford to have that happen in this point of the ball game.
Long Beach comes out 5 wide here on 1st down. Ball spotted at their own 12-yard line. Now they'll bring it back into the backfield. Play action pass. Madonna throwing incomplete. Short of the target. Was looking for Kyle Miller. Tried to split a couple of Canyons defenders. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Still a long way to go in this one, Matt. Nothing out of reach for either side, but College of the Canyons with some costly miscues here down the stretch and are going to have to work that much harder. You know, most disappointing twos, and it negates the big plays that your offense had put together.
So Madonna going to throw again. This time throws out to the boundary. Pass caught right near the sticks. They'll give him the 21, as I believe it was Miller on the outside. It's a gain of 8. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Long Beach. A good throw from Madonna once again, as the Vikings trying to pick up a 1st down, keep the clock moving. Cougars need to try and get a stop. Madonna pressured, steps up, runs, gets to the line of scrimmage, but that was it. Got to the 21-yard line. So the Cougar defensive line gets to the quarterback, gets a stop. We've talked about that. Maybe not translating to the sacks, but you get the stop you maybe need right here.
You know, and again, these big-time Cougar defensive plays coming late in the game That means that this defensive front is not tiring, is not giving up, not conceding here, which would be easy to do after some of these scenarios they found themselves in. A lot of fight left, and it's paying off in the big-time plays. You know, if Cougars get the ball here, march down the field, that interception's not even a point in this game. So, but it's a matter of just capitalizing, staying focused, and getting yourselves back up off the mat and back into this ball game.
Timeout called by Long Beach here, as they were a little late to get the right personnel onto the field, and that forced COC to allowed the Cougars actually to get their personnel onto the field, forced a timeout. Flippin and Littles were standing back at about the 40-yard line, as Lincoln was standing in to try and get ready to punt it away. So they'll talk about it, they'll clean things up, and they'll go back to work after the timeout. Looking at some of the numbers in the ball game for COC. Cam Fout, 7 of 11, just 43 yards. Dixon, 1 of 2 for 10 yards in the ball game. On the other side, Will Madonna, 19 of 34, 206 yards. And he's had 10 carries for 41 yards. Malachi Brooks, 11 carries for 104 yards. And then, of course, we've already talked about Calvin Littles.
Yeah, we could go on and on about Calvin Littles. You know, and I expect him to have a few more exploits here before this game is done. And, ladies and gentlemen, we got a ball game a little bit down the freeway here. Matt, you want to tell them about that?
It's a 6-point lead for Ventura right now, 27-21 nearing the end of the third quarter. This is a 7-point game, so that game we're scoreboard watching there, we're scoreboard watching here. Calvin Littles with a quartet of Long Beach Vikings standing around him makes the fair catch, smooth as can be. And the Cougars will take over at their own 44-yard line. So things still kind of going to work here. Like we said, 27-21, Long Beach or Ventura leading East Los Angeles. So that game very close. I'd like to look at the stats, but they're not live statting that game. So this one's still very much up in the air for COC right now. Got to take care of your business and hope to get some help.
Now it's fun for us to look at. They should not have any focus on that ball game right now. Like you said, Matt, it's about lining up here, playing together as a team, playing the way you have been coached to do, and executing and pulling this one out here in front of the Cougar faithful.
So the Cougars will go 1st and 10, ball at their own 44-yard line. Dixon, designed run, gets it up to midfield. They think they'll spot him at the 49, so a gain of about 5. It'll bring up 2nd down and half the change.
That's a nice little run, little hip shift there. And kind of maybe just enough to throw the defenders and then got up the field.
So we go 2nd down for COC. 5 yards to get a 1st down. They're just on their side of midfield at the -49. As Dixon stays in there as the quarterback. Brooks stays in the backfield with him as he's been for most of the game. Little's the slot on the near side. They'll give to Brooks, little counter run back to the near side, has midfield, has the chains, enough for a 1st down as he takes a pop, got drug out of bounds, and now somebody's kind of coming together a little bit, and the official's over to make sure everybody stays apart. But it's at the 45-yard line of Long Beach, a 1st down for COC.
Nice little block by Sam Palu there. Spring the ball carrier. And this Cougar offensive line continues to work. You know, that they are vital to this offensive unit's performance. And so when you see plays like that late in the game, when you see linemen getting upfield, making athletic plays, that's always good to see. It's going to bode well for the Cougars here.
Ball actually spotted at the 43-yard line, so COC gets a 1st down and a little bit more off the run from Malachi Brooks. Dixon in the backfield with Brooks to his right. 2 receivers out to each side as we go on 1st and 10. Cougars on the plus side of midfield. Little's in motion to the far side. Dixon will keep on the option, right through the middle, across the 30, inside the 25, keeps his feet churning, down inside the 20. The Cougars in business again inside the red zone at the 18-yard line, and a big run from Bryce Dixon.
Dixon running hard here, trying to bypass that or overcome that mistake from the previous series. And again, got some help up there with him.
Timeout on the field. One of the Long Beach defensive backs down on the sideline nearest to COC. And so we'll delay for a moment here. Looks like maybe another cramp situation, as it's actually Thaddeus Dixon who had the interception. So the Cougars in business, 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line in the red zone once again. The red zone offense has been hit and miss so far this year for COC as a group. You look at the red zone numbers for the Cougars. It's actually 77% from the red zone they've scored, which is 23rd best in the state, but it's been a lot of field goals, not a lot of touchdowns this year. They're trying to punch one in as they trail by a touchdown right now, needing 6 to try and get this game back to at least even at this point in time. As Dixon stays in the backfield, has an extra blocker in there for Brooks, that's Sauerland. They'll give to Brooks, and right through the A-gap, a big hit in the backfield. Long Beach right there to meet him.
I don't even think he had time to think about anything, let alone grasp that ball. Did well.
Trayvon Taylor or either Luke Tomalatui Tila that made the tackle there.
Did well just to hold on to it. And seemingly bear hugged and taken to the ground.
So just like the last time the Cougars were in the red zone, the first play of the drive when they get into the red zone is a loss of 5 yards, and they're right back out of it, spotted at the 23-yard line. 2nd down and 15. 2 backs in the backfield this time. They go with that same offensive set. It didn't work last time. We'll see what they try and do out of it this time. As Dixon takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, looks back to his left, throws downfield, looking for Brooks in the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Malachi Brooks! Touchdown, COC!
And that is exactly how you want and need to respond. Bryce Dixon able to find his man in the end zone. And College of the Canyons is back in business. And Dixon having a heck of a second half.
You know what? It's a good little wheel route here from Brooks, right out of the backfield, Jesse. And it's nice to see him get rewarded with a touchdown reception after all the work he's put in on the ground here today for COC, getting pressed in as a running back, and he gets a touchdown reception out of the backfield. Ty Morrison, the extra point to tie things up. We are even at 24 all, folks. A brand new ball game, 10:42 to go. Touchdown for COC from Bryce Dixon to Malachi Brooks. A nice little drive for the Cougars that starts off of a big play, goes 5 plays, 56 yards.
I was going to say credit to Dixon making that read, waiting for that route to develop, because he had a man in the flats, which is where initially I thought he was going to. But again, timing-wise, you just wait for this to kind of develop, and it is. It does take a little bit of, you got to let him sneak out and then get upfield and hope the defense doesn't see him, and then that's a beautiful ball. Just meeting him right there.
It helps that you have a guy in Malachi Brooks who's already flashed the speed that we know you cannot out-throw.
Yep.
I don't know if there's a lot of guys anywhere in football that might be able to out-throw Malachi Brooks who can move. The freshman out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Desert Pines High School, gets a touchdown. COC has tied the game. For Bryce Dixon, his 4th touchdown pass of the year. So 24 all, 10:42 to go.
We got a long way to go, Matt. I feel like we're about in the 7th, 8th round of a heavyweight fight, and these two sides still throwing blows. Almost an eternity left on this clock, and it's going to be fun to see how it shakes out.
So Morrison will kick this one away. Long Beach will take it right at the goal line and bring it out from there, as it's Ridgely, as he's done most of the day. He gets hit at the 25-yard line and brought down, and then a late flag right around the area where the hit was. And we'll see what the officials have for us here. We're looking at the Long Beach sideline, which tells me it's a penalty on COC. No, it's actually against Long Beach. It's a blindside block. So that's going to back the Vikings up. That'll help COC out. So a special teams miscue here, and it's that cutback block that you're not allowed to. There it is, right there in the middle of the screen. You just can't make it. It's a point of emphasis now.
I think I mentioned it last time, the old ear hole. The guy just doesn't see him, and you hit him right square, right above the shoulder pads and into the helmet, and that's a quick drop. But again, a point of emphasis, I think, on all levels.
Yeah, at all levels. The NCAA's called it a lot this year. The NFL's called it quite a bit too. So We go to work here, 1st and 10 for Long Beach. Ball spotted at the 14-yard line. Madonna to throw towards the boundary. Caught. Not enough for a first down as Miller spins away from a tackle. Got knocked down at the 22-yard line. Bring it 2nd down, and we'll call it 2 for Long Beach as they need to get to the 24. Watson stays in the backfield for Long Beach. Madonna going to look to the sideline. The Vikings going to change the play. So Long Beach trying to punch back after COC gets a touchdown. Madonna on play action just dumps it off. And again, we've seen that a lot today where Long Beach able to just slip the defensive backs and get some soft coverage and just kind of find the open man in the right target.
A flag here on the near sideline.
So it's an ineligible man downfield on Long Beach. Goes against Champ Ulufale, the lineman.
But back to your point, Matt, the penalty negates it. But those Long Beach receiving corps, a tremendous route running job tonight. And kind of like we said, coming back to the quarterback when need be, kind of sitting in the zone when they've been forced to, making some tight catches in narrow lanes. So again, a credit to this offensive unit that continues to battle here with 9:54 to go.
Madonna to throw here on 2nd down. Dumps it off underneath to Watson, and he's hit right at the initial line of scrimmage, stepping up to make the play that time for COC. Looked like it was Jacob Montez with the big hit. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Long Beach as it's a loss of 3 yards.
And again, some of these guys making their biggest plays of the season here in these biggest moments of the game. And the bell should be coming here on another 3rd down.
Montez just 9 tackles coming into the game today, and that's a huge one right there. Call it 3rd and 9 as they gave him the 15-yard line. Madonna takes the snap, belt high, steps straight back. Now will step up, throws it over the middle, pass caught, enough for a first down for Long Beach. Still on his feet is Miller. He cuts around one man inside the 30, has one guy to beat, gets drugged down at the 20-yard line, and it is a huge chunk play for Long Beach. A first down for the Vikings here with 9:03 to go.
And just fails to wrap up, just kind of collides, hoping to take him down. And that's not enough. He comes up and gets another 25, 30 yards out of it. And
Joshua Christopher came back to save the touchdown.
Yeah, Turbo had to catch up to him. Again, that's one of those things you talk about from day one of spring ball. Wrap up and take down the ball carrier. You cannot allow that to happen at this point of the game. That's a tremendous letdown for the Cougars.
Waiting on the chain gang to get set up here, as now we'll go back to work. 8:45 to go. Long Beach just outside the red zone at the 21-yard line. Madonna takes the snap. Play action, wants to throw, chased out of the pocket, holding penalty on Long Beach coming as the pass was complete to Ridgely, but if not for a hold, it would have been a sack for COC as Jackson Stein was trying to chase down Madonna.
Yeah, Jackson Stein had dudes on both arms and one coming up on the side. Still almost managed to get there. That's a nice call by the official. And College of the Canyons will take that help.
It backs up Long Beach a little bit here. So you go 1st and 20. Ball now at the 31-yard line. And again, if you're COC, you're looking to try and duplicate a turnover like you did earlier or get a big stop here.
Turnover would be fantastic, but I think it's, again, that bend, don't break mentality. Even if you allow the 3, you're still in this. Don't want the touchdown, pardon.
Watson in the backfield to Madonna's right. Will shift out on the play. Madonna will throw. Enough for the first down. If it's in bounds, it is. Pass caught. Great throw. Better catch.
Yeah.
As well as on the far side of the field for Long Beach, I think it was Bryce Jones out there on the boundary making the catch.
And again, look at the Cougar defender right there, step for step. You know, just kind of gets a space, but Just enough to bring it in.
Oh, sorry, it's second down. I'm looking at the wrong stick there. Thank you, George. Forgot it was first and 20. It's second down, and we'll call it 9 for Long Beach. They are in the red zone. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. I just saw a big orange flag out there and thought it was the sticks. This pass over the middle, knocked down. Good break up that time by COC. Over to make the play was Quentin Moten. Got a big hand on it, knocked it out.
Quentin Moten, you don't want to rifle one in towards his area any closer than that. That's the young man will make you pay, and he almost did there. And again, another third down. The bells are ringing. College of the Canyons is again going to have to answer the call here, as every play it becomes more and more vital to not allow points, not commit any miscues, and give your side the chance that it needs.
Third and long for Long Beach. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. The Vikings in the red zone. Cougars showing pressure here. Madonna 5 wide right now. Nobody in the backfield with him. Cougars going to try and bring pressure here. They're going to chase Madonna out. He's going to throw one over the middle. Has a man, but it's incomplete. Just out of the reach of the intended target. Was trying to find, I want to say, Andre Dimbidi.
He found him. It was just a little high, little past him. And that could have been one of those touch-type plays or touch throws that really makes an impact in this game. Just missed him on that one. And so now you're forcing this Long Beach team to convert on a special teams play.
So it'll be
about 40 yards out.
36 here for De La Torre. And it's a timeout. Who'd they charge that to? I didn't actually hear. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to look down at stats.
I think that went to Canyons.
Yeah, it went to Canyons, so they take their second timeout. So Cougars just one timeout left. It'll be, like you said, it's a 36-yarder. As the spot is the 20 right now. De La Torre was standing just outside the 30-yard line. Let's call it a 37-yarder here. De La Torre's long this year is 50, so he's got plenty of leg. He's 9 of 14. This will be from the left hash. Chance to try and give Long Beach the lead once again.
You know, it's not always about the leg, especially in a situation like this. It's execution from the snap, the hold, and the kick through.
Yeah, we've already seen that with COC today.
And especially when the high intensity, the pressure could get to you.
Snap is good. Placement's down, kick is up, and it is no good, wide left. De La Torre got knocked into afterwards, but I don't think it was anything that's going to be called, and the Cougars get the stop they need. It's a turnover on the missed field goal from Long Beach. And we're even at 24-all with 7:20 to go, and the Cougars get the football back.
Well, and you had Moten flashing in here a little bit too. That can't help but maybe pull the kicker's head up. I mean, but the hold was there. Just not able to convert,
well late
and
then
then
tried
that's
to
a
sell
little
it.
bit of a Vlade Divac on that one. Falls to the ground.
There's why there's no call. That was exactly why.
To use a cross-sport reference from my era. But, again, College of the Canyons will take that. I'm starting to see this crowd get a little bit enthused here as we enter the final 7.5 or so. And, again, it's more about doing what you know you can do, what you have done. And there's no room for mistakes at this point of the game.
Dixon will give to Brooks on first down. He'll run right through the middle, gets to the 25-yard line. A 5-yard gain as the Cougars starting on the 20. And we're just about 7 minutes to go in the ball game. It's a 24-all score right now. The Cougars get the stop they need after a big gain on a third down from Long Beach. A missed field goal, and so each side's had a missed field goal, so we're even in that regard. Each side's had a turnover at least. The Cougars trying to go to work on offense here. Dixon will take the snap. Hands off to Brooks. Wants to bounce it outside. Now tried to bounce it back inside. Got maybe a yard. I think they're going to give him the 26. So it'll bring up third down and 4 for COC.
You talked about it, Matt. It's been an evenly matched game. Both these teams have had mistakes come back to haunt them, had, the inability to convert on a couple scoring opportunities, and we find ourselves tied. Both teams still all in every play, and I think that's the way it'll be here through the duration regardless of, like we said, what they may be playing for and what they may even be aware that they're playing for. These are two teams with a lot of fight, well coached and proud.
So 3rd down and 4 here. Ball at the 26. Dixon will keep himself. Pulled it right out. He's got a big gain across the 45 to the 50, down to the plus 45. Another huge chunk gain and a great read from Bryce Dixon to keep that football.
Bryce Dixon was going so fast. I think he had to slow
himself
down. He almost tripped himself up. You're going to kind of see him here just stumble, be able to stay up, and most importantly, hold on to that ball as the Cougars cross midfield on the march here. And I'll tell you what, Matt, the Cougars want these points. They would love these points. They would love nothing more than to chew up the rest of this ball game, the rest of this clock, come down, punch it in, and walk off this field as victors. Still a long way to go, but I got to feel like that's the goal. Keep the ball on the ground and pound it.
Ball at the plus 46, 5:13 to go in the ball game. Dixon in the backfield with Brooks next to him. Will keep once again. Tries to run through the middle, dives through the pile. A hard 2 yards for Bryce Dixon there. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8, but it's positive gain on 1st down. Dixon now 6 carries, 80 yards, so 7 carries, 82 yards. After that, I'll catch back up on the score sheet. So the Cougars doing a great job on the ground here today.
And just to set the scene, a nearly full moon starting to rise over the skyline here at Cougar Stadium. A lot of excitement in the crowd. And you got to think about when Long Beach might want to start thinking about timeouts. 2 left in this game. I feel like they're going to at least wait for Canyons to get around the red zone before they start to make those decisions.
It's part of that game within the game we talk about. Cougars go on 2nd down and 8 here. Dixon with Brooks in the backfield. Long Beach showing a 5-man front. Cougars will keep with Dixon again. He piles through a couple of Long Beach Vikings, gets across the 40 to the 39-yard line, so it'll bring 3rd and short for COC. And Bryce Dixon again, just reading the defense well, knowing there's nothing on the outside for Brooks, keeps it himself, runs right through the middle.
Just a hard-nosed run. I mean, you see him kind of just tuck and put the head down, getting those hard yards. Winners find a way, and that's Bryce Dixon's mindset right now. I think every time he fires into that hole and then that middle of that Viking defense, again, imperative that he wrap up and protect that ball. And a big 3rd and 3 upcoming here.
They need to get to the Long Beach 36. The ball spotted at the 39. Brooks and Littles in the backfield. It'll be Littles trying to get the edge. Didn't get to the 40. They're not going to give him the initial line of scrimmage. It's actually going to be a loss of 2 yards. And now some late pushing and shoving, but nothing there. Corey Martin, one of the men in on the tackle for Long Beach. So it's a loss of 2. Back to the 41. You're kind of in 4-down territory right here if you're COC.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I feel like you got to go for it here, and more importantly, you don't. You know, Long Beach comes up with that stop. Don't force. You don't have to take any timeouts or anything. You're just going to let College of the Canyons kind of figure out what they want to do.
So another big 4th down. The Cougars have converted on 1 here today. We saw after the timeout in the 3rd quarter, 1 for 2 on 4th down in the ball game.
We've talked about it before. Got to have it play. This is the time to call on it.
And a timeout for COC. They're going to use their final timeout with 2:34 to go. Talk about it here. They took a little bit too much time. I think they wanted to see what the defensive set was as well.
Yeah, a lot of strategy going into everything you saw right there. I mean, this is a gotta have it play. You gotta want to come talk about it first, make sure everyone's on the same play. The timeout becomes moot. If you can convert this and hold on to the ball, maybe Long Beach doesn't even get another possession. If nothing else,
you force Long Beach to now start taking their timeouts as well.
Flip the script on them. So perfect that it comes down to a 4th and 5 here in the 4th quarter, tied 24-24. And this is what it all comes down to. This is your season. This is the game, potentially, and this is your season.
Scoreboard watching still a little bit. 27-21, Ventura still in the lead. So you still have to take care of your business and hope for some help if you're COC.
The focus is right here on this snap and these 5 yards. And if you have that luxury, you score watch later, or you scroll Twitter and get a result.
Exactly.
As it were now with this generation. But It all comes down to this. Here it is. You talked about it. You know what you got to do. Now let's line up and do it.
It's a huge play here, 4th and 5. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line of Long Beach. Brooks in the backfield with Dixon as the quarterback. 3 receivers out to the far side. The near side man is Jacoby Taylor for COC. Got to keep an eye on where Calvin Littles might be for the Cougars. He's been the big play man so far. Dixon to throw, has pressure, looks over the middle, pass caught by Gitch into the end zone. COC touchdown. Trevor Gertsch wide open down the middle, and the Cougars take a 6-point lead.
That was the gotta have it play, and they had it. Called the timeout, came to talk about it. Just saw the opening. I don't think anyone was even on him from the snap, and it took him about 3-4 steps, and hand was up.
Gertsch
see what happened. The blitzing linebacker just comes up, and he runs right past him, and then from there it's off to the races. Nice job finding his man.
Gertsch the slot man that time. Calvin Littles was actually lined up between him, kind of a decoy. 2 men went to him.
And so you got to figure they're looking at Littles. You send the blitz, the man that's off Littles, and Gertsch just makes you pay for him.
It's just a skinny post.
And Dixon, a tremendous job stepping into this game and just taking control for this Cougar offense. Forced in due to injury. And he has shined, ladies and gentlemen.
So an extra point with 2:27, a flag. Extra point is good. I believe the flag is against Long Beach for jumping over the line of scrimmage.
Unless you're Bobby Wagner just clearing those guys like we saw last week, that is a penalty each and every time.
But the Cougars get a huge touchdown.
That's the play of the season right there, Matt. I mean, with your back against the wall, a do or die, now or never type scenario, and to be able to execute like that, you see these excited young men down there. They know what's at stake, but I feel like at the same time they know there's a lot of game left.
So 2:27 left, a 4th and 7 touchdown from Bryce Dixon to Trevor Gertsch, and then the penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. It's an 7-play, 80-yard drive, 4:53 off the clock for COC. They take a 31-24 lead. And now you give Ty Morrison a chance to kick off from the 50-yard line and just boot this out of the back of the end zone, make sure Long Beach doesn't have a return.
That being said, Long Beach has shown the ability all evening to move the ball, to come up with a big play, to come up with a special teams burst. You cannot lay back here and think that you have this game won. There's a lot of ball game left. And all it takes is one misstep, one slip tackle, anything that could put this Viking team back in an opportunity to score and tie this game.
So you would imagine Morrison puts this one deep out of the back of the end zone into the soccer goal that's sitting down there behind the field goal post, but maybe not. Maybe a little pooch kick for COC. Nope, what we expected. Kicks it towards the uprights, down out of the back of the end zone. Didn't drive it quite as far as we would expect, but enough to make a touchback. And Long Beach will take over. You don't take any time off the clock, but you also don't take the threat of a return, which is what we were pretty much expecting.
And so now you line up. Who wants it more, Matt? College of the Canyons in a position of advantage, but that means very little in a game like this at this point of the season. And this type of game tonight here, we've seen nearly everything. Except any signs of quit, and I don't expect that to change at all here in the final 2:27. Here we go.
Ball on the 25-yard line. Madonna in the backfield with Watson next to him. Will fake the handoff. Play action. Has pressure. Steps up. Brought down from behind by COC. In on the tackle that time. Big number 95, Reggie Jones, able to get to him. And the Cougars get a good first down play. Good job from Madonna to get back to the line of scrimmage on that.
Yeah, Reggie Jones, again, another one of probably his biggest impact on the last couple of weeks, coming here in the most crucial of situations.
Madonna going to roll to his right here on 2nd down, pointing ahead, wants to get some yards. He'll get to the 35-yard line. I think that's where they'll spot him. Enough for a first down to move the chains. Just a simple, good coverage downfield, but nobody up tight enough to make a play.
And Reggie Jones came up with the big play the snap before, then had 3 guys on him there.
So I think they're going to measure this here The nose is on the 35. It should be a first down because that's where the spot is. Something's, yes, the officials getting together to talk about something. I'm not sure what the problem is right now. The chains should have moved, as it is a first down. Yeah. So they're going to put the game clock at 2:03. It is a first down, so the chains moved, and I think that was part of the issue as well. So Long Beach up to the 35. The clock will go back to work. 31-24 COC, inside of 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Madonna in the backfield with Watson to his left. 3 receivers out to the far side for Long Beach. Madonna to throw, wants to step up, lost the football, picked up by COC, a fumble recovery on a sack, and the Cougars get the football back at the 20-yard line.
I want to say that was 93, Asai Martinez.
And then Reggie Jones with the scoop.
Reggie Jones, 2 of those big defensive front guys for College of the Canyons, making big plays when it matters the most.
Strip sack for Asai Martinez, fumble recovery for Reggie Jones. The Cougars in business at the 19-yard line with 1:45 to go. And you can kind of sit on the football, but at the same time, you punch it in, the game is over. So we'll see how aggressive the Cougars decide to be. 2 timeouts left for Long Beach. You got to imagine they're going to use them both and in quick order here.
And Matt, we talked about the lack of sacks. I think College of the Canyons just saving them for the finale here tonight. Maybe that was the plan all around, but a tremendous job of coming up and giving your team a boost.
The Cougars in the red zone. Brooks in the backfield with Dixon. Dixon will keep, runs right through the middle, tries to get to the edge, got to the 15-yard line. Long Beach with an immediate timeout on a 4-yard gain for COC. 31-24, 1:39 to go. I think you need to get a first down if you're the Cougars to put this ball game away. And 1:48 to go in East Los Angeles. Ventura leading 27-21, so we'll check and try and see if we can figure out who has the football in that game. Still a little bit of time left in this one, 1:39. Anything can happen, so we're trying to scoreboard watch and watch another game at the same time. It's a timeout in that game with 1:43 as well. Everybody talking about it. I think it's East Los Angeles football right now. No, maybe not. It's Long Beach football in that other game.
Ventura football.
Ventura football, thank you, sorry.
But as we've seen, anything can happen. Things can change on a moment's notice.
It's been a long-ass day.
And so College of the Canyons will have to play out its final minute 39 here. And probably both games will be ending right around the same time.
So here we go, 2nd down and 6. Ball on the 15-yard line. I think like I said, I think they need a first down. Long Beach already using one of their 2 timeouts. Instead, the Cougars will just run on a direct snap to a back. They'll push the pile to the 10-yard line. I didn't see who the back was, but it's enough for a COC first down. It was a direct snap to Jaden Perry getting in the ball game, and he just ran right through the pile. And a timeout by Long Beach, 1:32. But did Perry get to the line to gain? Is it the 9 or the 8 that he needed to get to?
He's right down there in that area.
It might be the 8.5.
It's might have had a situation here where they're gonna.
Well, you can punch one ahead with 1:32. They're not moved the chain, so it's not a first down.
And not looking to measure it all.
So it's 3rd and 1. He has to get to the 8-yard line. Ball spotted at the 9. I would imagine you run some sort of sneak like you have earlier with man under center. I know they've run that a couple of times. Actually, the chains go down. It's a first down. Okay. That's where the spot was. Wow, it took a little bit of time for them to make that adjustment, but it's 1st and goal to go from the 9-yard line for COC with 1:32 left. And you can just sit on the football and take the game to the house and take a victory 31-24 right now.
And that might be what happens, because why would you risk anything else?
And that's where they're in. They're in victory formation right here. So the Cougars going to get back to 5-5 with a big victory off of a late second half touchdown, late fourth quarter touchdown from Bryce Dixon to Trevor Gertch. The Cougars going to sit on it a couple of more times here, as I think they can kneel down one more time, and that's the ball game. A huge day for COC on the win. You look, it was a slow start for the Cougars. They got 74 yards passing from Bryce Dixon and a couple of touchdowns. You got 111 yards on the ground from Malachi Brooks, 91 on the ground from Bryce Dixon. Calvin Little's 150 all-purpose yards in the ball game. And the Cougars going to come out on top in the season finale, 31-24. That'll do it. They'll kneel down maybe one more time to be sure.
And an exciting result here.
And now you scoreboard watching that Long Beach game. Or that Ventura East Los Angeles game. And that one's over. Ventura actually won. So the result, not what you wanted. Ventura is going to take the National Northern League title this year, as that was one of the two losses you needed. You got one, you didn't get the other, you got your win. So the Vikings will come out with the National Northern League after they beat the tiebreaker with COC. The Cougars will finish 3-2. Long Beach will finish 2-3. On conference season, the Cougars back to 5-5. The Vikings 5-5 as well. But you know what? You take it. You look at what you got.
Yep.
You had a bunch of freshmen come out, play a big game today. You look forward to maybe to next year, maybe do a bowl game. Maybe you get one, maybe you don't. Either way, a good result to finish out the season for COC.
Yeah, tremendous job, College of the Canyons, coming in and taking care of business, defending their home turf, and again, getting some new kids out there, getting them an opportunity to play. But most importantly, Matt, finishing this season on a high note, showing and playing like you are capable of, and that's a nice finish for head coach Ted Iacinda and this Cougars team. And to our fans and viewers across the nation and around the globe, we thank you for being here with our partners at SoCal College Sports, our stats crew, our photographers, our media day, our game day media assistants, everything here. It's been a tremendous season. We cannot thank you enough. And
make sure you keep tuning into the Cougar Sports Network. We got plenty of more action coming up for you next week. We may have a soccer home playoff match. We might have a basketball game going on. We're not quite sure what the schedule is going to be, but check the website. We thank you for joining us. For Jesse Munoz, I'm Matt Robinson. For all of us here on the Cougar Sports Network, SoCal College Sports, thank you for joining us. Cougars take a 31-24 victory over Long Beach here in regular season finale.
Yes, I promise. Go Cougs.